Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Putty, and welcome back to another edition of Dunes of Utapau. I am joined, as always, by Marshall Peterson, Charles Smith, and Chris Tuvison, and of course, we are graced by the presence of Count Corey Wadsworth, 15th heir to the throne of Egypt. I know you've been in hospital this week caring for Mo Salah, your son. How is things? How are things going? And how is Ramadan for the Egyptian royal family?
It's been great. It's unfortunate I was overthrown from from being the king of Egypt, but at least I was immediately placed in line again.
That is how the Egyptian succession works. If you are dethroned, you get put in a queue.
Just gotta wait for 14 more people to kick the bucket, and there I am.
Back again.
And won't be able to get rid of me next time.
So how are you doing though? Aside from the memes, you know, we like to be funny here on this show sometimes, but if I can just be serious for a moment.
No, I'm doing all right.
We've had a lot of laughs here.
Yeah.
Look, we've had a lot of laughs here, but we like to know to get.
Yeah, I'm not actually 15th in line for the Egyptian throne. I'm now 14th. I've just
it's a quick process in Egypt.
It's real quick when you got some good connections.
This has been a barrel of laughs and all, but let's talk about the real issues: lung cancer.
No, I'm doing good. Excited for today's session. You know, I can't exactly remember what happened last session because of poor memory, but I know I was excited for this one.
I think it's Charles's turn to do the recap, so we'll get to him shortly. Chris, how are you feeling?
I'm pretty all right. I'm tired. I'm not used to waking up on Sundays.
Yeah, you just sleep all through Sunday usually. You don't ever wake up. It's like Saturday night, Monday morning, like that.
No, there are days that I sleep basically through. I'm up for like 6 hours normally on Sundays. Well, that's also just because it depends on how you define Sunday itself.
I can't tell if you're like proud of that or not.
Here's a fun fact for everybody that I just discovered. As we begin this session, Marshall is 25% of the way to uploading last week's session.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, just
yeah, dude, Marshall, we need to talk about your alcohol problem and it affecting your upload skills.
So, Marshall, aside from not getting the session up this week, apparently, how are things going?
Fake news. I'm not sure about that. I think.
Goddamn fake news.
I think things are going.
It's all CNN's fault.
You uploaded the best video. Nobody's got videos like you. It's great.
And really, 1/4 of it, to be fair, that quarter has been up there the whole week, so it kind of balanced. So
it's projecting about 40 minutes before it's finished, and I'm feeling the upload when you talk, so leave it till after the session.
It's too late. It's already begun.
Just press cancel.
I can't.
It'll save your progress.
No.
It will. It will.
Will it save the metadata?
I think so. Did it save successfully when you pressed save? Did it say also changes saved?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should. And I've got access to the metadata right now, so I should be able to copy it if it doesn't.
Okay. It's been destroyed. I've burned it.
Cool. Excellent. How has your week been? More important question.
It's been pretty good. You know, I turned 21 recently, so I've mainly just been tearing up the town a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, like, freaking, he's got a goon squad he's been tearing around the town with, bar hopping and just getting smashed. It's kind of terrifying.
I'm disappointed in you, Marshall. Oh. I, for one, have never drunk a drop in my life. I am straight edge.
Yeah,
I am a savior.
You don't have well-known alcohol problems. That's not a thing.
Hey, now, with this liver, I have never gotten drunk.
Wait,
with this liver.
Your liver?
Let's not talk about that. So, Charles, how is your week been?
It's only his fourth one. Really.
got it this
Yeah,
morning.
Yeah, I've had a good week. I'm back with my parents.
Feels bad, man. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just...
I mean, if you like cookies.
I mean, he got a single cookie, and it's just the first day, so he's got plenty more to figure out which he likes.
You know, for the lulls, all the time.
For the that goofy old mama just giving out things for the lulls.
Except it's the
So
first
random.
Yeah.
time. So, Charles, why don't you give us a recap of what happened last session?
So last week, Merkava got better. He got
Ish.
he got ish. He got a new headpiece. Looks very fancy on him. We then explored the first floor of the upper city. Looked around, a bit more of the library. Oh no, we did the library previously. Went to the security room, and Merkava went back to his hacking ways, and found out somebody was trying to hack the system, if I remember correctly.
Hackman.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure we pulled the monitor, the plug to the monitor, so it was all good. It was all good at the end.
Yeah, Celeste fixed the problem, clearly, and
We stopped their ability to come through the screen.
yeah. So then we decided to move on all the way up to the next layer, where we found... What did we find up here? I've forgotten.
Someone want to help him out?
Well, we found out about a Jedi temple that we weren't supposed to find out because Putty left it on the map.
No,
But
the Jedi Temple is fake
The
news,
what?
though. We found out.
yeah, it's fake news.
We found out that the Jedi
Yeah,
Temple
fake.
might not be real, like that it might be
Yeah.
an imposter state.
An imposter Jedi temple. I don't remember what this room was, actually. I know we're in it right now.
Does anybody? He asks, hopefully.
This is the room with all the people in it. Us.
I think the isn't this like a security office or something?
Isn't it like
No, that was downstairs.
a museum?
Oh.
An aquarium? I want to say a bank?
Okay, I'll jog you.
A place of communal gathering?
I'll jog your memory a bit. It was a research lab.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Yep.
We learned.
Okay, would you like? There you go. Now you can. You can
We
continue
were
the
in a research lab.
So
That's where we were, Putty.
We read more about what the Ordito family did here on Malastare and some of the crimes they committed. There seemed to be, definitely disagreements.
Crime is a harsh word.
Not for the Ordito family.
Atrocities.
Wow, you are so judgmental of a poor little group of young individuals trying to get along in the world.
A little band of underdogs. Anyway,
Who committed actual genocide on a city, on this population.
They're basically the cast of Sonic Underground, and they're just searching for some gems and their mother, and they're a rock band.
they're truly the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of the galaxy. Just
There you go.
trying to get some pizza, hiding in the sewers.
Learning from their master.
Yeah, but they we learned that we learned more about the cure, right? We learned that a cure two cures exist, but one of them isn't really a cure. It's more just like a death, like it just kills you. But it kills you really effectively, and it kills the disease. So it's like, I don't know, it's good for killing diseased people. But we discovered that an actual cure was made too, by, I believe, the brother. and it can be drunk. The problem with that cure is that it seems to be rare. I'm not sure how much they made, and it seems that a Force user needs 1 dose, and a non-Force user needs 1 dose per day for a week, which means we need 8 more doses. Cure all of them.
Incorrect. Oh, well, yeah, if you want to cure everyone, but for the real important person, Slash, you know, he only needs 5 more doses.
Don't you need 6?
No, I drank.
No, he took one right
Drank
at the end.
1. A week has 7 days, right?
2.
Yeah, I
He's
drank. Yeah,
2.
I
What
drank
the fuck?
2.
You just keep drinking everyone you see. Just
I drank
pretty
2
much
across the past 2 days.
oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I found one in here, so I drank it.
Just run in. Delicious. Okay.
And remember, you need surgery after for the Force sensitives. I believe it said.
Oh yeah, that's
After a
it's
week, you
collection
need a
in
simple
your gut.
operation to remove the spores
In
from your
like
stomach.
a ball of spores. It's disgusting. I can't wait to see it and poke it.
Add it to your collection.
Yeah. Make it into a lightsaber crystal.
Well, you already have one that would probably be the same effects as that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn. Okay. Anyway.
What was it? The Accolade of Haste lightsaber that you broke on the power thing on the Outer City, Marshall?
Well, I broke the I didn't break the crystal. You were very specific that the actual lightsaber handle hilt, thank you, was what was broken. So that's what I need to get repaired. Yes.
But it was the Accolade of Haste saber specifically.
Yeah, that's why I've been using Shao's ever since. Because usually I use the Accolade of Haste.
Okay, so we'll start today's session. As you guys are in the what you think is the Orditos room, maybe you were walking through the corridors a little bit. Everyone probably notices that Merkava is particularly distant. His eyes seem glazed over, and he stops rolling around for a little while. But eventually, he seems back to his usual.
Fuck? How long does that last?
Troubles. Probably, you saw symptoms for about 10 minutes, but maybe he was completely stopped for maybe a few seconds, maybe a few minutes of that time. It wasn't too long. I mean, he's ill, so he's been acting a little unusual ever since, but you can tell something's troubling him.
You alright, Merkava?
I can't wait to get out of this wheelchair.
So as you say that,
I imagine.
Probably all 3 of the Jedi feel this kind of concentration of dark energy starting to grow above you.
Let's start moving, because that does not seem good.
What doesn't seem good?
Something bad's going on up there.
Are you talking about the gigantic ball of cloud death that's surrounding us?
That might have something to do with it.
We've kind of had to deal with that for a while now. Why are you talking about it like it's a new thing?
The one we piloted into really successfully.
Exactly. I see. That's the kind of revisionist history I like.
What's the kind of revisionist history Celeste doesn't like?
The kind that makes him look
Troy
bad.
Troy Daria. Not Troy Daria.
Are you trying to? Are you calling Trandoshan from Daria?
Yeah.
Terraria.
I say Slus.
Too many names in my head.
Slus, we understand that it was always a problem, although I think the problem is growing quickly. Something up there is stirring in the dark side.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, then let's hurry. I'd rather not have to deal with that.
It's like a dark side potluck and someone spilt the chili.
Never mind. Never mind.
What?
What did you say, buddy?
Never
I was
mind.
transfixed by the chili comment.
I was gonna ask if everyone's gonna react to her comments. Oh yeah, it is. But then he explained it, and
Let's
I say,
Let's
Merkava, are you
carry
gonna
on
pass
round.
out or anything?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll try not to have any more potlucks.
Yeah, there's a great disturbance up there. Like someone has spilt the chili.
Oh my god.
at this point, you guys begin to feel a small rumbling.
No.
It's acidic chili.
Can we move on from the chili?
I think we need to start moving on from this room right now. Let's go.
Feel the small rumbling.
I can't. Are you a dog now, Putty? Okay.
That was not me.
I know. I was joking about how
Gosh.
Chris's mic was picking up over your voice.
The endless dog hordes.
That was just Chris's mother saying hello.
Oh.
Oh wow.
You're picking on a man who has his mic muted right now.
Pick my targets.
What were you saying, Putty?
You can
Troglodytes.
so you can feel the rumbling too, and I'd say that you in particular, due to the types of places you would have been as opposed to the others, probably recognize it a little bit more, and you theorize that this seems like the beginnings of an earthquake.
I say, we might have an issue, everyone. I feel as though we need to possibly prepare for an earthquake. So the solution, our two options are to get as high as possible and hope that the structures do not collapse, and also not have anything, as little things collapse onto us, or we get as low as possible so we don't be in a collapsing mega city.
Yeah, well, the higher we go, the more likely I feel we're gonna find a ship off of this planet.
Yes, let's do that then.
Yep, I am
So-
okay with that.
Quick, scans through
We
rooms.
might want to hurry, actually, real quick, because earthquakes are pretty. They're not really willing to wait on us.
Yeah, no, let's skedoodle.
Yeah,
Get
look
open
out for
that
some
door.
of those. Let's look out for some of those vials as well, because this is pretty much the only place we can find them.
Should I roll? Can I roll a quick perception check before we lead, just to make sure that there are no more of those vials in the research lab? Putty?
You're gonna search through all of the rooms of the research lab?
I mean, just not really. I was hoping my infrared vision would be able to possibly pick up anything, but just general area while we're leaving.
I mean, there's nothing that gives off you can see a few things that give off a heat signature, but they don't look like vials.
Okay, well then, yeah, we're good. Well, I'm good. I already had my daily vial.
Does everybody else follow Celeste just immediately out of, I presume, this door?
Yeah, he seems
Yep.
like
Yeah.
an expert in this regard of walking, but also of earthquake.
But nobody else wants to go searching for vials.
For what?
Vials.
Vials.
No, I mean, yeah.
All right.
Okay. You head out to the this area, and you notice as you go out, it's a thin structure. The inner part is made of metal. The roof and the floor is made of metal, and then the outer area, the outer window here, is made completely of glass. The cloud has completely risen now, seemingly, and is completely out of your view through the windows. And it once again gives a great view of the lower city. You can see an entrance into some sort of building here. It's open plan. There's no door there. And you can see across the way here is another section of the elevator from the access zone, and all the way across you can probably see the beginnings of this is another door. Towards the elevator you see all of this section is filled with pods once more, and towards the elevator a lot of the pods have been ripped open, have been pushed over. There's clearly signs of some sort of struggle here, and you see pieces of something. It's hard to tell from where you guys are standing, just scattered across the floor.
Interesting. Well, I certainly walk over to here and see what this open room is.
I also will kneel and look at those things on the floor up close.
All right, Cedric, Merkava, what do you guys do?
Well, Cedric, I don't know. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna look over here with Celeste.
Are you sure you're not gonna get really pissed about something?
Yeah. Anything you want to get mad about, buddy?
Oh my God.
No, not
the fact that I
said buddy.
Oh.
Don't worry, I hear it.
The fact that I drank that vial.
You should punch him in the face for it.
So, Merkava, what are you doing?
You know, I'm gonna. Can I? Part of me wants to practice wheelchair tricks.
Mm-hmm.
But
is that what you're gonna do?
No, I'm thinking I'm gonna probably help Kasari.
I say, don't forget to give him a good kick so we can, keep his wheelchair moving.
I turn around, quickly kick him.
Oh no!
Kick his wheelchair along.
Okay, so Kasari, you can get assisted with a perception check. It's going to be average by Merkava on looking at those fragments. Meanwhile, Cedric and Celeste, you look into a very, very large room filled with chairs. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of chairs. There's also a screen in the middle and a podium. This seems to be some sort of council room.
This is like an LGR Sims review. Chairs.
Chairs! They're a nice chair. There's also an ottoman that can act as a chair.
Uh-huh.
Did you say it was an average perception check?
I did say it was an average perception check.
I have one proficiency.
No.
3, what's-its.
I'm going to flip Destiny then. One challenge, one difficulty. Because I'm evil like that.
Damn it!
Marshall, I was assisting you.
I included your assistance.
So you pick up a few of the fragments before deciding that they're all pretty unrelated and putting them back down again.
So
well, those aren't important at all.
In the room filled with all the chairs, is there anything I noticed that isn't a chair or a giant, what do you describe it as? Like a TV, I guess?
A screen, yeah.
Screen.
Yeah. And a podium underneath.
Yeah, and a podium, of course.
I'm gonna
The
run up to
glorious
the podium.
overlord to speak over his subjects.
Well,
I'm gonna go over to.
Go on, Cedric.
I'm gonna look over on the podium and see if there's anything around it, like any notes or anything.
In that case, I want you both to make separate average perception checks for your style of looking at the room. But yeah, Kasari, you think they're all unrelated and put them down.
Gotcha.
But those aren't important at all.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Yellow Dice. I appreciate you. You're... God damn it.
So Celeste, now all you can see is chairs. The chairs are blocking your vision so much, and you start to get really worried about the chairs. You're like, shit, chairs are taking over the world. You don't take any strain, but you've now got an aversion to chairs. You don't like chairs. Even hearing the word chairs makes you a little angry. But now you've got chairs stuck in your head, and every time you close your eyes, you can just hear the word chairs, and you're like, fuck chairs.
Oh my god. This is more of an aversion. This is an obsession.
Charles, on the other hand, you find some notes from
chairs.
Someone who was speaking at some point, clearly hasn't been back to collect them, talking about kind of issues of the day, and they seem to think that the most prominent issues facing Malastair is a rising separatist, anti-republic kind of ideology in the lower city, and that might eventually turn violent, as well as the
Sith.
and that the contractors they've brought in to work on the lower city were really expensive, and it seems like progress has been really slow.
Nothing much here. Did you get anything, Flash?
So many damn chairs.
Yeah, I know. There needs to be a lot of people to sit in here, clearly.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay. What do you do, Cedric? I might have missed it if you said.
I'm gonna have a look at the screen, in particular. See if is there like a terminal which was connected to it, or
No, not nearby. You can't find a terminal that seems to be connected to it. Although it is connected via wires to the edges of the room. It must be some sort of network involved with it. But you can't see anything directly to it. You also notice as you look a little bit closer to the screen that it's powered off, and it doesn't seem to be. It's very dusty. It hasn't been used for a while.
I'm gonna try and power it on. If there's a power switch.
You could look for one. Make a hard perception check, but you'll have to look throughout the entire room, and it'll take you a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Okay, are you flipping Desmond?
No.
Okay, I won't either. So what are you three doing while he's doing? Well, he's taking about 10 minutes to search through this room. You guys don't know what to do.
How soon did I leave the room? Probably halfway through that process, maybe?
Not really soon, probably 2 minutes after you walked in. You had a glance, and then you walked back out.
I probably would have walked over and asked what the other two were doing. I would be like, hey, what are you two looking at?
I can't figure out what it is, Slash.
Yeah, she looks at you holding pieces of something, something mechanical in her hands. She's just like a little tear in her eye.
And Merkaba doesn't know.
No. I mean, I can't really see it in this wheelchair, but
Oh, I forgot. I go and kick his wheelchair just to make sure it has a good push.
But yeah, no, I can't really get a good look at it in my current state.
Okay. I say, well, you two have fun with that.
No.
Is there anything around them that I notice? I might notice.
Oh, you can start investigating, making an average perception. Yeah, average perception check as you start to investigate the scene. Meanwhile, Charles, it takes you a while, but you find kind of a set of transformers and fuses that seem to power most of the things in this room. As you look around after you found it, you see that there are a lot of low lights around that makes it okay to see, but there's clearly some powered down lights that would better light the room if you were to get them on. And this power box seems to be the core central power area of the room, but all the fuses are blown. All the transformers are off. There's no power source in there. Or if there is, it's gone. It's clearly been out of operation for months, if not years. Celeste, you look around and find a liquid on the floor. Or it's not liquid anymore. It seems to be a hardened liquid. I presume it's just spilled food.
Is it chili?
Oh, I say, well, that's gross. And I move on, I guess. I don't want anything to do with a weird spilled food liquid.
Part of me wants to flip Destiny so it can be chili.
God. No. Please, stop.
If you flip Destiny, you can do that. And it might also... And it won't just be memes, because I will give you something plot or mechanically relevant.
Okay, yep, screw it, let's do it.
Oh, please, no, stop.
So as Merkava, so flip the Destiny, as Celeste says that, it's spilled food, you get interested, you go have a look, and you can see that there is some chili on the floor. But shockingly, just over from the chili, you also notice what is clearly dry blood. It's odd color though. It's like a dark yellow.
It's like
Hey, guys.
Turns out it's cheese.
Next to this chili spill, there is some dried blood. We should,
Cedric, would you like to rejoin the group at this point?
Yeah, I just come dashing in.
Truly, the gods are with us then. The chili is a sign of their providence.
Yeah,
There's a lot of these mechanical pieces near the blood, by the way.
You know, on my planet, chili's a racist idea. So let's calm down with the chili.
Man, if it wasn't for this wheeled chair, I would try to salvage some of this chili.
That was weird. How you paused for a second and emphasized the word chair.
Yeah.
You don't see me very close to Merkaba.
Celeste, are you okay? You're kind of far back there.
You occasionally see me I just like occasionally glance at Merkaba's chair and then look back. Just sweat coming down from my brow.
Like, to all of us, this is just so mundane. In your head, it's like the Carmina Burrata's like, and you're like preparing. Okay, anyway. I get close to the dry blood. Does it seem to lead to anything? Like, is it a trail, or does it just stop here?
There's a lot of it, and it's splashed across the walls near the pods and stuff like that. But you can actually make an easy perception check, because you think it could lead somewhere if you could just follow it. Right.
If you could just follow.
Hey,
Actually, never
Cedric.
easy survival check, because you're tracking basically something.
Oh man.
Hey,
it's been a while.
Cedric,
Wait.
did you find anything in your room that you were searching?
Sorry, what was that, Merkaba?
Did you find anything in your room that you were searching?
No, not really. Like a few notes and like.
That was all that was in the room?
Well, there were loads of chairs. It looked like a council room.
So as you guys are talking, you notice Kasari is like down close to the ground, looking at the blood, trying to find something. And Celeste in particular, you notice that she's trying to track something, but she's doing a really poor job. You can see all of her flaws.
Is she
I walk
licking the
over
floor?
to her and I say, do you need some help?
I like to imagine Kasari's just licking the floor.
I say, look, when you lick the blood, you gotta be extra careful. I then help her with the tracking.
Yeah, you make a survival check. It's easy. Whereas Kasari, you've now been around this blood long enough to try and get an insight as to what kind of creature it came from. So you make a hard xenology check.
Okay.
Actually,
So how
can I
many
put
years?
Destiny to upgrade one of the die? I think it's the only chance I have.
You'd like me to make a hard xenology check, you said?
If you want to, if you're curious about the blood,
I
it's
am
up to you what the
curious,
character would
damn
be.
it.
So, Cedric, what quality of chair are we talking?
Like they were quite foofy, I guess. Like
Could we take some for the ship, maybe?
they look fixed down quite a lot, but I really wish we could. But there were also a lot of them. Like I'm talking like there must have been like how many chairs were there, Puddy?
Oh, hundreds, maybe like over 1,000.
Oh,
Oh,
like there was over 1,000 chairs. Like even for me, that might be a bit too many chairs to have in our ship. Like I know we like to sit down in very many places with our chairs, but
No, imagine if we just filled the ship with chairs. So, like, there was always somewhere to sit.
Sluss don't care about none of your chair talks. He's focusing on blood.
Yeah, so Sus finds the throughput and eventually finds that there is a single line of blood that leads to the elevator, and as both of you come to it, Kasari, you finally notice there's actually a couple different types of blood here, but the only one you can figure out is the one that's most plentiful, and that is Miriam blood. And as you arrive here, you find even more pieces of that mechanics that you've been tracking, and some sparkly shards of something on the floor too.
I found Miriam blood, and I believe the Miriam was the one fighting. We found out later was the one fighting the Zabraki, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I look at the you said there's shards of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I look at what is it, glass?
I make a average perception check.
Oh my gosh, so what are we playing, an RPG?
What is
Can
this?
I help Kasari?
Yeah, sure. You noticed them too.
Yeah, I got 3 ranks in perception. If you want it. If you want it.
She didn't want it.
I did. I have 2.
No, he said ranks. I presume he means skill.
Well, either way.
Either way.
No, that, like, even if he does, I can pick one or the other. I don't get both. So I could either take his 2 ranks, or I could, I don't know. I don't.
Wait, so that's just an illegal roll then, because he doesn't have 3.
I do have 3. I got 3 skill.
A characteristic, I mean.
Yeah, I got 3 in that characteristic.
Okay.
I got 3 cunning, man.
Okay, so as you're looking through this, as you're looking through the shards and trying to once again try and piece this thing together and figure out what it is, you cut yourself a little bit. You take 1 wound.
Oh my god!
Just a tiny little cut.
Oh, look at you, able to take wounds without passing out.
But you do figure out.
I don't know who that's a diss against.
Him. He's just under his wound threshold, I think.
Okay.
Look at you guys able to take strain without passing out.
Oh, what were you saying, buddy?
That the parts you've been trying to piece together, and these shards finally confirm it. That this is a absolutely destroyed lightsaber.
Aww. I say a lightsaber was destroyed here utterly. I've never seen anything like it.
Whatever destroyed it must have been such a clean hit as to destroy the crystal too. It must have been straight through the center of the hilt.
Whoever did this was either incredibly lucky or incredibly skilled in the ways of dueling.
Well, if that's true, then I think Shao was here.
Whoa. Quite the
That's-
jump there.
I mean,
It's a super big jump. You do know that there are... look, I'm not familiar with the whole Jedi Order thing, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of very skilled lightsaber wielders in the Jedi Order.
I say
Not many Zabrakis that can do so.
But who said anything about a Zabraki? This was we found Miralan blood.
Well, yeah, but we're pretty sure the Mirrorland was fighting a Zabraki.
And you think
was
it's
being
your
aided by,
friend?
like a random human on the sidelines that was just like low key, just like staring at the battle. Anyway.
guys,
You also
It's
found
Etal.
Zabrak downstairs.
What'd you say?
Etal's the human.
No, not you. Putty.
You did
No,
find Zabrak blood downstairs and identified it as such.
Yeah. So we found Zabrak blood. Plus there were the visions. The blood was just sort of confirming what we saw in the voodoo place. It's less. You know, the Davoodoos. But
I do that voodoo stuff!
oh god. You know, mine's a little bit, but yours is always really racist. Don't
Not racist. It's a Warcraft thing.
No, yeah.
That can't be racist. Yeah, you know.
right. The developers cult like made a really good
Mhm. I cried when Vol'jin died.
I'm sure they were very culturally sensitive, Marshall.
Vol'jin was still the best war chief we ever had, and he will be missed. Amen.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
I attended his funeral, Celeste. You don't understand. We were there.
Yeah.
The spirits told him who to appoint next.
was there an in-game funeral?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Did your whole guild attend?
It was like this instance thing.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Well, you should have the guild hold a memorial service.
I mean, I've been in 4 guilds since he died, so
All
you know.
of them.
Bring together the 3 disbanded guilds in the current one
Yeah.
to hold a memorial to our lost troll war chief. Anyway, what are you guys up to? I forgot. I've lost my train of thought.
Something
Well, we just
voodoo,
found out-
man.
We just found out that this was Miriam blood. We found out that they shattered a lightsaber. What color was the lightsaber? Can I tell?
The crystal was yellow.
Yellow. It's a yellow crystal.
That would match up with definitely the jeweler in my vision.
Yep.
So
Had a yellow lightsaber.
the elevator we found it by, is it open or closed? Is it broken?
Also,
What's
out of
the state of the elevator?
Out of character, Eta had a yellow lightsaber. Maybe.
I think this is actually Eta,
Oh no.
because he also used a dual-bladed lightsaber.
Oh god, Eta and Xiao fought to the death.
Not necessarily.
It was destined to happen. It was foretold in a vision long ago. Of course, that was by a fever dreaming Eta, but you know, visions.
Hashtag Ita was right. So the elevator, the elevator is not there. It's just an elevator shaft. And as you look down, you can see that this is clearly the elevator you found on the second floor, just one up. And once again, it goes all the way down to the access zone. But a part of the elevator shaft is broken.
Oh. I say, well, if you're
Sorry.
curious about exploring the access shaft again, Kasari, here's your opportunity.
You know I always am. I get greased
Kasari.
up and ready.
Okay.
I think we both saw very different visions of what happened.
Mhm.
You saw just remind me what you saw again, just so I can piece this together.
In my vision, they fought. They sort of destroyed the environment around them. I didn't see who they were. I just saw that one was a red lightsaber wielder, the other was a good guy. No.
Wow, that's racist.
No, the other was a yellow lightsaber wielder.
Who's that racist against?
Yellow people.
I thought it was racist against red lightsaber wielders because it implies that they're bad guys, but okay.
Yeah.
It made sense
Yes.
to me. It made
Yes,
sense to me. but
I
now I'm
didn't-
so
I-
confused. I'm like, wait, what? It was racist against you?
So-
people?
So the moral of the story is I should never explain everything, and it'll make more sense.
No, yeah. So yeah, that's what I saw. They fought. The yellow lightsaber wielder was wild and almost uncontrolled in their ferocity, and they beat the red lightsaber wielder back, knocking them down an elevator shaft. And I saw the red lightsaber wielder fall all the way down. But that seems like... Or wait, did I see them fall all the way down? Okay, I'm not sure. I don't remember. What?
Oh, you're not sure.
Oh, okay.
You saw them fall.
Well,
And
I
we
definitely
found-
saw them fall. Here's the thing. I think that part of the vision can't be true, or probably isn't true, because I'm pretty sure that they survived and they were in, they didn't fall all the way down because they were in a little, compartment right below. So, so unless they fell all the way down and then climbed back up like a weird spider person,
What if both of them are true, just one's on this level and one's on the previous level?
Well, the one...
What if there were two duels?
That is a good question.
Shit.
What if your duel happened on the first floor where they fought and the Mirrorland won
No, that seems... I think
and
it's the
pushed
other...
it off,
No,
and then
no, I
they
think-
came back up here?
No, that seems...
It seems like...
No. I'm saying I like your theory, but I think it's the other way around. I think they got pushed down from here because if they got pushed
Or they
down
c-
from there, they would have fallen all the way down. They wouldn't have been able to grab onto anything. Like, I don't know.
Well, you only saw the Zabrak get
Did
pushed
either
out.
of us see a lightsaber get destroyed? I don't remember that.
I saw a lightsaber getting destroyed.
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
the Mirrorland's lightsaber getting destroyed.
So we'll
That's
say
why I
that.
think it's
Well,
bottom
'cause I-
up.
What about the window?
In my vision, I saw the window get
Oh.
smashed in the lower section. Wait, is there a window smashed up here too?
I
Nope.
didn't see a window getting smashed.
Yeah, so like I did see a window get smashed. It got smashed good.
So that must be it.
And
I
you
think
saw
it's
the
that-
random person on the sidelines just like
I think I saw M from the medical records come and save the Mirilan. Which would-
standing for Marshall. Oh no.
Kasari like whips out a red lightsaber, and her eyes begin to glow as she reveals that she's actually called Marshall, and she tells you.
Oh, no. I'm actually the Sith Lord.
I do
Is anyone not? Like, seriously.
No, it's like
Celeste, do you have a surprise for us?
Oh, Celeste is the biggest Sith Lord.
it's one of those sketches where the two of you who are like Darksiders pull off your masks and you're actually Lightsiders. And then I'm like, well, fuck you, and I pull off my mask and I'm a lightsaber, and then it just goes on like that for hours, and we don't know whose true identity is what.
Can we just all agree to be gray Jedi and just go?
I'd rather be pink.
Oh, okay.
Saying Rose.
Celeste is exactly who he says he is, a Trandoshan nationalist who seeks to, enslave the Wookiee race.
Oh, wow. Very problematic statement there. I think the tenets of the Pink Jedi are, just to drink rosé all day.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like, and also to wear like those like flamingo tuxedos that are just
And have only pink lightsabers.
Yeah.
Only pink lightsabers. Only eat
Oh, and,
things that are
and
pink.
they're very active during the month of October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they get out. Honestly, they don't even care that much about breast cancer, but it's the one month where people don't laugh at them in the streets.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's transcended beyond the cause.
Exactly.
So,
Well,
what have you guys come to any more revelations as you sit there wondering about your visions?
Well, I say, if you need me to lower you down into the shaft so you can check it, let me know.
I don't think. We'll
Doing
move
it.
on.
Lower me. Come on.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
excited.
okay.
Sorry.
I like shaft.
I'll wheel Macarva over to
No.
the next room.
Okay.
And I kick Macarva in
Oh,
the
God damn
direction of the next room.
Wait, where do you kick him into?
I try to kick him this way.
Right, okay. Meanwhile, what are the other two of you
Thank
doing?
God you don't have to roll for
I'm going
accuracy
to be
on that.
lowering Kasar down into the down the elevator shaft, so she could check the see what the little tunnel thing has, or if there is a little tunnel thing.
Okay, it's going to be an average athletics check, but you're going to get, not only are you going to get your sickness setback, but you've got stage fright, and this didn't go well last time, so I'm going to add another setback.
Oh, but it went well after I picked her back up, remember?
It did, but I think you're still nervous because you dropped her last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, you don't remember the time you didn't drop the plate. You remember the time you did.
It's a very
Fair
traumatic
enough.
experience. And Celeste is prone to stage fright, so... And it was the sweatiness
Because
that
this
fucked up
is
last time.
a frightful life or death situation, I'm also going to flip Destiny then.
Is this the same situation? Like, if I fall all the way down, I'll just, like, die?
You have a better shot at surviving this time because you could, like... You have the layer below you as well before you start free falling.
It's
So,
it's average.
Yes, it is, sir.
And what does the stage fright add for me?
Just one extra setback in round 2. You have 3, including
Sweet
sickness.
God.
You masterfully lower Kasari down the shaft, giving her a good look at everything. You basically lower her all the way down to the next layer if she wanted to, like...
I'd
go.
like to point out that without the extra dice, I would have failed.
So Kasari, you have a look around. You see that this shaft doesn't really have any maintenance cubby holes or anything like that, but it does go down to the bottom layer. And as you get a better look around, you can actually see on the other side, not the side of the doors, the other side, like lightsaber dents really far down that seem to be like carved into the side of the wall somehow.
Okay.
Do you want to get pulled back up?
Does it look to me like I kind of worked the scenario out in my head? If I was going to fall right now, and I pulled out my lightsaber and I used it to slow down my descent by grinding against the metal, do I think I would make similar marks? Do they look like they are plausibly because of that?
That's plausible, yeah. And I'd like to just make it clear that those marks are even further down than the first floor. They're even further down than that.
Someone ground their way. If my theory is correct, which you obviously don't have to confirm, but if it is correct, that means they ground their way all the way down to how far?
It seems like the marks continue until the break in the shaft, where the big break happens, which is why the elevator is broken.
Oh fuck! Wait, that's why the elevator is broken?
No, the break is.
Oh, okay.
The big gap is why.
Like this person broke the whole fucking thing. Yeah. Okay. I don't see anything else besides that. That's it.
No, you see what you previously thought. There's a cubby hole on the like below the first floor that you can see. You've already been in that, and above the first floor is pretty empty.
Okay.
And there's no above this. This is the top floor that this elevator goes to.
Pull me up, Jeeves.
You successfully do so. Unless you want to drop her, I will leave the choice to you.
Oh,
Yes, Celeste says. Celeste just turns suddenly evil. You feel a dark force rise from him as he lets out a cackle.
Just have a Fire Lord Sosa moment. You're like, suddenly without you, all my plans become possible.
I pull her up.
Okay, so you successfully do so. Meanwhile, the two of you, well, I guess you didn't actually go in. Merkava, you get kicked into what appears to be a waiting room with minor Jedi architecture.
Oh. Well, this is pleasant.
And you're away from everyone else now. No one's going to kick you. You're the most serene you've been in ages, but your thoughts wander to what's going on upstairs.
Huh. I wonder what's going on upstairs.
Immediately kicks him. No, just...
You just run into the room, drop kick me, and then run out.
No, just like a bunch of orphan children do. And you're like, what? You meddling kids? Anyway. Do we catch up with them, or is he going to do anything before we do? Okay.
Cedric, is there anything you'd like to do before you catch up? Because it's not really up to Merkava, honestly. Like, he's been kicked.
Poor Merkava.
I'm gonna have a look around, see if I can find the what was it called? The Sholchok.
Where are you looking for this?
In here somewhere.
In the room. Oh, okay. So if you went in after them, then those two will definitely catch up. So.
Well, I started kicking Merkava over to go in with him.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll say you have a little bit of time before they catch up, but it's not long. So you can have a look in the waiting room, which seems there are no terminals there. There's no seeming technology here, and there's a small like lamp in the corner that seems to run off its own power, and it's kind of still going. And you, as well as Merkava, recognize that there are some Jedi markings on the wall, but it doesn't seem necessarily like a temple with the full pillars and everything that you're kind of used to. It just has a few things that remind you of there. You kind of have a look around. Why don't you make an easy perception check to see what you can find in this room?
Okay.
Okay, so you find discarded belongings clearly have been dropped behind the chairs that make up the waiting room, and you can find a total of 23 credits.
How nice is that chair?
They're not great, honestly. You wouldn't love to wait in this room for a ton of time.
I'm glad I brought my own.
And that's honestly about it. You find a few like pocket secretaries that have mundane stuff like dinner reservations and shopping lists and such, but nothing of any particular interest. And then the other two get into the room with you.
Hey, you right, guys? I think we might have found our Jedi stuff. Looks like it's got some Jedi architecture.
That's great, but now that I think about it, we spent an awfully long time in that room, and we just experienced a potential earthquake earlier.
That
you can
is
all
true.
still feel the rumbling. It's about the same ferocity that it was earlier. It hasn't escalated, so you've kind of gotten used to it. But if you think about it, you can still feel it.
What do I see in this room?
Were you here when I described it to Cedric?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So it looks like a bit of a waiting room. There's no technology in here. There's no terminals. There's a lamp in the corner that still seems to be working. It's a waiting room. There's a little bit of like Jedi markings on the walls, but not like a full temple architecture with pillars or any of the things you'd expect to see. There are a number of wooden chairs scattered about, and there's a kind of mahogany reception desk.
Are there any doors?
Yeah, there are 2 doors. One on the left one.
It's kind of like a Jedi dentist office. I will. Has anyone checked out the receptionist desk? I say.
Yeah, I've had a little look around. There's a few personal belongings, but that's about it.
Kasari walks up to the door on the left and opens it.
Okay, you can see within kind of a circular corridor with doors on the outside of the circle and less frequent doors on the inside of the corridor. In fact, you can only see one on the inside. But on the outside of ring of the circle, you can see a couple of doors in your vision.
Okay, how many? So, just 2? How many doors in total?
So you see one on the inside rung and maybe 4 before it curves too much for you to see it. Again, it's a circular corridor.
Why? Okay, I get what you mean. So it's like it curves to the left and the right, and it goes around.
No, it just. I guess I'm not describing it very well. Imagine the corridor like a smaller version of the whole tier out here. Like, think about this whole tier. You're looking at it, like, let's say you're looking at it from here, right? And you can see, like, 1 door there and then 4 on the outside before it curves around too much for you to see. Like, you couldn't see this if this was a door, for example, because it's...
I'm not seeing any of your markings, so...
Okay, one second.
Hey, are you sure?
Yeah, I was just on the I was on the GM layer. So let's say you're looking from here at a corridor that was shaped kind of like this. You would be able to see 1 on the inside, and then you're able to see 4 on the outside before it curves too much for you to see. Like, if there was a door here, you couldn't see it from where you're standing. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. I will go to the first door on the left.
Are you just going to start looking through them?
Yeah.
Is anybody else joining her or doing something else?
I would be going through the right door.
Well, I'm going to be leaving the temple because I'm searching for a ship to avoid the collapsing upper city.
It wasn't because of the chairs, was it?
Are you leaving through this door or the one you came in?
Through this door. You gotta progress, you know. And also there's chairs back there. And also Merkava in here.
What's Merkava doing?
Let's see. What to do?
I feel like this isn't the most difficult choice of the campaign.
No. There's more here.
I take the central door. No one's thought to do that.
No, I'll do that.
No, there is no central door. You bang your head on the wall as you wheel yourself in.
Hearing the noise, I come back and start kicking Merkava towards the left door.
It's just him everywhere. So aggressive.
I said the left door. I'm tripping it your way.
So, Cedric, are you looking at the outer doors, or are you going into the inner door?
I'm gonna go in. Is it the same on the right side?
Exactly the same as what I described to Kasaria.
Why is no one going in the middle door?
I'll go in.
Continues bashing head into wall.
What do you do?
I'll go into the inner door.
Right. Okay. So Kasari and Merkava. I don't know how much role you're going to play in Kasari's search for Merkava. So you can decide whether you're going to help or not. But you guys make an average perception check. Meanwhile, Cedric, you walk into an inner, almost sanctum. Like where this is, the roof has been taken off and it's just open air, and you can see there's no cloud above you anymore. And you can see kind of a slightly smaller third layer to the city. But this isn't like the roof is off, and it's almost like an outdoor inner sanctum with markings on the floor that remind you almost of like combat training, a combat training area. And it's obviously a little scuffed up. It's a little bit used, but you do notice there are a few bushes laying around that could hold things. But otherwise, what you can see out in the open is very little.
I'm gonna have a little quick look through the bushes.
Damn
See
it,
if there's anything
stalking
there.
through the bushes. Okay, so Merkava apparently just decided to look on his own. So Kazari, as you go into the first door, you see Merkava wheeling ahead to the second door. So you all, both of you find what look to be very common, like meditation rooms, and rooms that you would often find the masters in on Dantooine. They have kind of a few sort of chairs. They're not obviously chairs. There's like places where you can sit cross-legged and such.
Those circular cushions that Yoda
Yeah.
sits on?
Yes, perfect. Exactly like that.
A beanbag?
No, they're not
Hey,
beanbags.
space beanbag.
You know what they're like? They're like ottomans, but good for sitting.
In a few
Man.
of the rooms, find some. It's very cluttered. There's no technology. There's no terminals, at least in the ones that you're looking at so far. And they're very cluttered. And they have windows with glass out to the outer area of the outer city. You can see below you, and they're very cluttered. You find some trunks. You find a few makeshift like beds, like sleeping bags and stuff in a few of them. You can't find any Jedi robes, no lightsabers, no Jedi artifacts or any books. You find a few form manuals like you saw in the library, like you see Form 6 and Form 1 every now and then, but you don't see a lot of stuff that you'd usually expect. As you get further up the corridor as well, by the way, Cedric, make an average perception check. As you get further up the corridor, you start to hear talking from the very end of the corridor, like where the left and the right circle would meet, if you know what I mean.
Oh. That's us? That's me and Cedric? I mean, sorry, me and Merkava here?
Mhm.
I sort of get quiet and start, like, slipping up towards the talking to listen in on it.
You see a slightly bigger door at the very edge of the corridor, at the kind of central point. And I guess you slip up to the door and try and listen in. So that's going to be, because it's quite a thick door. So I'm going to say it's an average perception check to hear it, but I'm going to add 2 setback for the thickness of the door.
Oh boy. The door is thick.
Is Merkava here helping me hear?
Yes, it can be.
Okay, I will wheel up slowly and listen.
What a chant, Merkava.
Cedric, you find an arm plate and a leg plate, completely separate from each other, of distinctive bronze armor.
Merkava, what's your skill and what's your attribute, characteristic
For which?
for perception? So
Perception.
What's your cunning, and then what's your perception skill?
My cunning is 4. My perception is 1.
Okay. Did you say this is average with 1 setback?
2 setback, but average.
Fuck.
So you don't hear any words, but you can hear that they're male voices, mostly. Actually, they're all male voices that you can hear.
I say, do you guys think we should bust in?
You say to only one guy.
Yeah, just you.
Um,
Should I bust
no.
in?
I don't know, it sounds stressful. I immediately vomit and black out.
Oh god.
You can't do that on cue.
I think that might be a bad idea given our current situation.
Could be Jedi.
No, yeah, but I mean, no one deals with surprise as well.
Well, I'm not gonna literally jump in and scream at them.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what you just said we should do.
I'm considering it, but
I wheel into the door and scream. No,
Cedric, are you going to spend more time after you find these pieces of bronze armor, or are you joining up with them?
I'm gonna I'm gonna look at them because you said they were like, were they recognizable? Do I know where they've come from at all?
Make an easy perception check, because there is something that you could recognize about them. Okay, so you notice two things. First of all, they're not that dusty. They're clearly they were embedded a little bit in the dirt, so it's not like they were dropped yesterday. But they're not ancient, and they're not that old. You would be surprised if they've been there for longer than 2 months. And the second thing you notice is that it looks like it's made out of the same material and in the same style as the bronze helmet you found on Antar.
Oh, that thing. I've just remembered it, and
do you now want to meet up with your compatriots?
I will now meet up with my compatriots.
On your way around the right-hand curve, you notice that one of the outer doors has a different lock on it and is more mechanized. But you walk past it to meet up with your two groupies. You also start to hear talking.
I'm gonna try and sneak up and listen in.
Are you trying to sneak in a way that the other two won't notice you?
The other two on the not
Merkava and
Kasari.
It's
Kasari.
weird you assume the talking is like other people because you know we're down this hall.
But can I tell there's a lot of masculine voices from this far out?
It doesn't take you long to see Kasari and Merkava and see that they're not talking.
Yeah, so I'll walk up to them and like so they know I'm there without scaring the hell out of them, but still
You see Cedric carrying very distinctive bronze armor in the shape of a leg plate and an arm plate.
Where'd you get that, buddy?
In the middle room. What's going on here?
Is the middle room
I knew it was there.
Oh, by the way, I think there are people in this next room.
Have you said hello yet?
I'm thinking of it, yeah. You want to?
Kinda.
Okay, but try not to get angry with them, okay?
Fuck you, Kasari.
Oh my God.
Literally immediately gets pissed.
Take one conflict. Are you opening the door?
Sure.
Okay, you open up the door into what appears to be a rather large, not huge, but I'd say medium-sized hangar bay with 3 ships in it, and a number of individuals seeming to be loading up those ships, getting stuff onto them, getting ready to go. And you recognize the Doug and humans that are doing so as some of the security forces that you'd seen in the lower city. In particular, the first person to notice you is one Salvajo, carrying Sless's old gun.
Which one was Salvajo? Was that the asshole that tricked us? Or was that the leader?
That was the
asshole.
I don't remember him tricking you.
Well, there was definitely an asshole who tricked us because he told us, like, He made it sound like the whole community had like exiled us, but it was really just him making it up.
Yeah, he's that asshole, I think.
Okay.
Jedi, he says. I have to thank you. You've made moving around this city a lot easier when you got rid of all those creeps.
There weren't even that many, were there? There was like... Oh, actually, no. I say... Although there were a lot, weren't there? I say, we didn't do that. We're still trying to figure out what did it. Whatever it is that has to do with that storm. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, the cloud, that was creepy.
Well,
it's gone now, though, right?
I think it's still there, isn't it? Last we checked? Putty?
It had gone out of sight of us, but...
Well, we can't see up, though. Like... I don't know.
Cedric just had an opportunity to see up where I described what he saw. But I guess Cedric has forgotten it.
Oh, yeah.
He was preoccupied with the bronze. Sorry,
it's so shiny.
I say, what are you guys doing?
We're leaving the planet. We're hoping to get help, but honestly, at this point, I'm basically just cutting my losses.
I count them. I'm guessing not all of the refugees are with them, right?
No, it looks like it's just the security guys.
I say, aren't you worried that the civilians will get slaughtered without your help?
I am, but the ones that are left, the ones that aren't coming with me, are the ones dedicated to staying here or dying trying. And I've got to respect that. So it's kept me here all this time. But the emergency ventilation system is running out of air. And I'm not going down with the ship.
Have you found a way to turn off the guns that are shooting anything that comes over the sky?
That's a real problem.
Yeah, I'm a citizen. They won't shoot me. I have clearance.
What? That's how it works? God, this planet's fucking crazy.
I guess I'm not a citizen, technically. My visa is expired, but I don't...
Oh, they're gonna murder
No,
you.
that is a word.
They're definitely gonna murder
Yes. We have a few citizens in the back. They'll remember the contracts. I got a hacker whiz. It'll be fine.
They'll see the one expired visa and they'll be like, smuggling, die!
Honestly, knowing Nitrosane, I wouldn't be that surprised. But, you know, my boys know how to shoot.
Fair enough.
I look around. Is there just enough ships for them, or is there an extra ship?
There's just enough ships for them.
I say, do you know of any other hangars in this fucking place?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if they're still working, because I'm not seeing... I didn't spend too much time walking through the upper city. Don't really know my way around.
Walks around and learns things.
I don't spend too much time walking around the upper city by any means, but it doesn't look like everyone stayed here to die. So I wouldn't be surprised if the two hangars that are on the next layer were the ones that they used to get off here. Then again, I checked the records when we got in here, and I noticed that one ship flew in 3 weeks ago in the hangars above us, and hasn't left.
Thank you for the tip.
We just have to kill all these people and we have a ship off.
You said the ventilation system isn't working.
Yeah, so we figured out that the main ventilation system we had in our zone of the lower city broke not long before the disaster. We think that's actually what kept us alive, because in the other zones of the lower city, all the spooks started coming out. So our ventilation system has been on emergency ever since then, but there's only a limited amount of oxygen in the emergency system. It's running out.
Do you know of a way to fix it?
I don't... Gan says he doesn't want to fix it because he thinks that whatever fucked up all of the other parts of the city probably will fuck up their part of the city if they fix it. But if you get into security, there's a couple of ventilation controls, or if you find a way to get into the network from elsewhere.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, they might die. I mean, how do you guys feel? You're breathing the air up here. I say
Well.
through my hazmat suit.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Well, we've been in a couple of
This guy's
expeditions.
breathing it and he's fucked. I point to Cedric.
We've had a couple of expeditions to the upper city over the not the upper city, the inner city over the last few months, and we limit our exposure, but only one person got infected. So
They got infected from just breathing the air?
we think so. He got infected while we were in the inner city, and he didn't have any wounds.
I see.
It's a shame too. He's a good guy. I think he's still out there somewhere.
Huh. That's a little... Okay. We're definitely getting attacked by him. Anyway, I say... Well, good luck on your expedition.
He offers his hand and says, "Good luck on whatever you guys are doing in this hellhole."
So where are you heading off to next now? That you're
Corellia.
Corellia.
Good luck. There's been some rumors about goings on Corellia. You wouldn't know because obviously you've been here for a long time, but there was an attempted assassination on the senator. There's a separatist movement there. Just keep your head down.
Coruscant it is.
I like this guy. You know, that's great.
He nods his head and begins walking towards one of the ships.
I wonder if they even know the Mandalorian Wars are over. I mean, they would have been at an end last they checked, but...
Oh yeah, the Mandalorian Wars are over as well, by the way. Like, that happened while you were gone. If you
I had
particularly-
assumed word of Malachor reached us before the disaster. I didn't think they'd last long after that.
Yeah. They folded pretty much immediately after.
He nods his head and keeps walking.
Well, let's try and get to that ship then.
Okay, cool.
Oh boy.
Are there any other doors out of this hangar, or do we just have to head back?
Well, there is the, of course, the open hangar exit. that you can
Jumps
jump
out of
of.
okay. A race
Other than-
to the liquor store.
You do see a few storage containers at the edge of the hangar, but aside, there's no exit.
I point to the
I'm gonna
storage
go-
containers and I ask
yeah.
the guys, what are those? Well, I feel like we shouldn't just rummage around them if they're theirs. I say, is that your stuff?
So Salvajo has walked away. There's probably a Doug within earshot. Did you say that to him?
Yeah.
He says, "We looked in them, but they were already empty when we got here. Must have been the Jedi or whatever."
Oh, well, that's Jedi voodoo for you.
Yeah, don't know it. Never picked me to come up to the temple. Never picked the Dugs. It was always the Grand that got... Anyway, sorry. I'm heading off.
Actually, wait. Sorry, good sir.
He pauses.
Could you tell me a little bit about this temple? Because we're Jedi and we've never heard of it. I haven't. Oh wait, no. I think you maybe had, right? Maybe a little bit, Cedric. Okay. Well, anyway, I say I've never heard of it, and we heard some logs that say it was unorthodox. What did you hear about the temple? What kind of things did the temple do?
It wasn't too long set up. From what I hear, it was 10, 15 years ago. And every now and then we didn't hear much about it in the lower city. Never really affected us, but some of the guys who I knew in the inner city said that some of the Grands would be, the younger ones, would be taken to the temple for education, better life, that sort of stuff every now and then. Always a Grand, though. Never the Doug.
I know that now. I'm pretty. Do I think that Dougs can be force sensitive?
I think throughout your teachings, you would have that impression. Yeah, you'd have the impression that most life forms could, especially like these.
I say that is very strange. That seems... It seems unlikely that there was never a Force-sensitive Doug on this planet. Actually, what seems more unlikely than anything was that there were enough Force users on this planet alone to sustain an entire temple. I mean, most of the other temples have to draw from thousands of planets to sustain themselves. You know, you get like one Force user from this planet over the course of a decade, and you come back 2 decades later and there's another one. Like, I mean, there's more Force users than that, but like, it's hard to find them. It just seems really... Like that, I don't know about you, Master, but that seems strange to me. Anyway, thank you for your help, good sir, and tips Fedora.
Tips top hat. Walks off.
Oh, yeah. So
Does it with those hand feet that the Doug have, so it's really like goofy.
It's fucking great. I love it. Hand feet. So yeah,
The ships are beginning to take off now, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I wave them away.
You see them fly off in the air, and the hangar bay begins to close.
Okay, I say let's go back and open some of those doors they haven't opened yet.
Yeah, let's have a look through.
While this whole thing's been going on, when I walked out of that room, did I discover anything interesting?
Oh yeah, Celeste might be dead. Where has he been?
You see an empty corridor, well, very like empty of pods, metal floor, metal roof, metal inner wall, and there's a little entrance again to the council room. You can tell where it goes. The outer glass window once more. Ignore this little faded area. It's not an entranceway. It's just a fuck up. And then you notice another elevator here, but in front of it, you see 2 figures in robes. You can clearly tell from the distance that you're at that there's a human male and a female boffin. And they look at you a little surprised to see someone. And they look a little defensive. They reach for their belt.
I say, I don't mean any harm. I'm just visiting.
When you said they don't mean any harm, their eyes softened a bit. And then when you said visiting, they look very confused at you. This planet is dangerous, stranger, the male human says. There's a hangar bay in the Jedi Temple. A few ships still there. I'd get off while you can.
Okay. They're free. There's no one taking them.
I wouldn't imagine so. Not when I last checked a few days ago. And there's nobody on this planet.
Well, I mean, my friends are currently exploring there. I hope they don't abandon me. I'm their pilot, so...
How long has it been since you've seen them? It's been
Oh, I've been just standing here for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I say I've been in time stasis for 20 minutes, apparently, not searching the room.
They look at each other and then look at you. You should probably go check up on them then.
Who are you two?
The female boffin says, We're Jedi. We're just dealing with something.
What are you dealing with? My friends are Jedi. They can help you.
Each other a little nervously. We're more covert Jedi. We deal with some different problems than most.
We're the good Jedi.
You deal with different... I don't know. I mean, I don't know about the two, the knights that are with, but the Padawan girl seems like she's pretty chill and willing to help you. The other two are the ones who apparently they killed the Sith Emperor.
Don't ever insult them. They'll knock your fucking jaw out.
Well, we don't really need any help. We're only going to be a few more hours, hopefully, and then we'll be off the planet ourselves, so it's fine.
Oh, that's ominous.
Do they seem a little suspicious to me? Kind of like...
roll a 1 second. Roll a discipline check, and it's going to be against. It is going to be against 2. It's just an average difficulty discipline check.
Ah, of course. This is totally gonna just be a real easy roll for me.
Is it like to use Destiny?
I might. I don't know if it's worth it because I might not even succeed with Destiny. Fuck it. Let's try.
Like there's the Destiny pool for you to look at. Are you using it?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. I mean, might as well, see if I can catch these guys maybe lying. Oh, whoops. I can't spell Destiny.
Destinely.
Oh. Okay.
These Jedi seem a lot like Kasari. Jedi voodoo.
Well, if they seem like Kasari, then I say, well, hold on a second. I'm going to find my friend Kasari, and I'm sure she's willing to help you.
They just sprint.
They seem to say something, but I think you're on a one-track mind and end up back in the Jedi Temple before you.
Yep, I'm burning my eyes to the waiting room filled with chairs and heading down that hallway.
Yeah, you head down probably the left hallway while those two have a little bit of time to, I assume, are you going to go first to the more hard locked door or to the normal doors?
I
mean, do we have a way to unlock it? Oh wait, of course. I look at my lightsaber. Yeah, we go to the hard lock door.
It's just an electronic padlock. You could probably chop it with a lightsaber if you're not averse to property damage.
You take 12 conflicts.
You take 1 conflict for the property damage, but otherwise.
Oh man.
Hey, Macabre, do you want to have a look at this lock?
If I take 1 conflict, might as well take it all. Kills
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you open it?
I'll give it a swing. Is it just a mechanics check?
You could try and get into the mechanics of the lock. It'd be hard to do so.
Would the computer's check just be easier?
It's not a computer.
It's a computer.
Everything's a computer if you think about it.
It has no interface for you to use your computer knowledge.
The chair isn't a computer.
Can be.
Now, see, the thing is the chair only has 1 function.
I've legitimately used towers as chairs for like a couple weeks waiting for stuff.
Okay. So, you know what? Yeah, I'll give the mechanics check a swing.
What was that, Marshall?
Let's say a computer is a chair, but I'm not sure if that makes a chair a computer.
Oh, that's a philosophical question if I'd ever heard them.
I think it's just like a basic... Anyway.
Alright, there we go. Yay, success.
Okay, so what's the 1 setback for?
Sickness.
That's 2 setbacks.
I remove 1 setback for mechanics checks.
Okay. So, you get into the mechanics and you can clearly see that if you were to move this thing over there, you would be able to open the electronic padlock. However, you'd never be able to use it as a padlock again. So if you do that, it would count as property damage and you take 1 conflict.
Oh my god. Hey, Kasari, touch these wires.
I say, oh, okay. I touch them.
The padlock breaks, and Chris, you take 1 conflict for knowingly instigating property damage.
I knew that was gonna happen too. I was like, well, Kasari doesn't know, so yeah, sure. And I say, oh god, that was kind of dramatic. I'm guessing there was like smoke and stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of smoke, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, is that okay? Is that gonna work?
No, yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh, okay. I opened the door.
None of the things you've been seeing in the other rooms are in here. There is a desk with kind of a chair that you've been seeing in like the security room and such, and there are 2 terminals on that desk. There's also like a mini fridge, a hot plate, and
God, so not a Jedi room.
white like robes scattered across the room. At this point, Slice, you catch up with them.
I say, Kasari, you have to hurry. There are 2 Jedi in need of your help. They're secret Jedi in need of people like you.
I say, oh my gosh, that sounds so exciting, and I run out.
I glance at Cedric, confused.
I say, follow me.
Oh shit! And I say, Makava, have a look around this room, quickly, and then try and wheel yourself over there. And go with Kasari. And I just start
wait,
bolting after
Cedric,
Kasari.
I don't know if they want Jedi like you.
No,
I'm going.
They
I'm
sounded like
fucking
Jedi
going.
like Kasari.
They don't want Jedi who punch people in the face.
I say you can follow, but you're not part of the group, if you understand.
Oh, God.
Sit at the back.
I guess I'll sit here and investigate this room.
Cedric, how does it feel being told by a fucking Trando that you're a second-class citizen?
Trando seems racist.
He
Oh,
basically-
it is. It 100% is.
I'm playing Cedric's racist.
Merkava,
He basically just told you to get.
I didn't even hear that. I'm gone. I
Okay,
was
so
fucking
Merkava-
freaking
Wait,
out.
you don't even know where they are, though.
I'm walking after Kasari.
But Kasari's following me.
so Merkava, how are you investigating the room exactly?
Well, I'm going to wheel myself around, practice a wheelchair trick, and
Oh my God.
then I'm going to just inspect any sort of furniture and stuff like that.
Easy coordination check, and then an easy perception check.
I actually don't know my coordination. Let's see.
So the 3
Shit.
of you arrive out in the hallway, corridor thingamajinga. It looks like much of the other holiday corridor hallways you've seen. And the 2 Jedi that have just arrived, you notice
Damn it.
a Trandoshan. You fall over and fall out of your wheelchair, going unconscious.
Oh my God.
You notice a female Bothan and a male human look at you. Both of you, like, they look between you, and then eventually, like, their eyes settle on Cedric and they relax a little bit.
I say, see, they need your help.
What?
That'll be perfectly fine, the female Bothan says. We don't need any help. We'll be out of here.
But you said you were on a secret Jedi mission, and you sounded exactly like my friend Kasari here, and I kind of point to Kasari. And I think she's really useful to your team.
I wonder if I snore while I'm asleep.
No, you're unconscious. You're not asleep.
Oh, okay.
If a Merkava collapses when no one's around, did Merkava really snore?
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Who are
and
you?
more importantly, how can we get Kellyanne Conway under Merkava when he collapses?
The male human replies to Cedric and says, "We're with the Covenant."
What the fuck?
As I thought.
I hear that. And wait, what?
Wait.
Look at
and the male nods at you, Cedric, when you say that.
Cedric, like, what is this shit? Does Kasari know about a covenant within the Jedi?
No, she does not.
Does that seem very?
I look and I say, what's the covenant?
It's a long story, and I'll tell you it someday, but...
You know I'm not a child. You can tell me now while we go and help them with whatever Jedi thing they need to do. I'm worried about... I'm worried about the Jedi Order one step at a time, and if you don't, I'll ask Kasari.
I have a brief look at Kasari and go, it's a long story, and I'll tell you about it once we
What's the
get
covenant,
off this planet.
Kasari?
you wake up, by the way.
Oh, I do?
I mean, you were knocked out, but you're back. I mean, it takes like 2 or 3 minutes for you to gain a little bit of consciousness.
Oh, God.
I look back at the boffin and the human and say, "The ship above, that's yours, I assume."
The boffin nods and the human says, "There are others."
How many?
4 in the hangar that we parked in. Many others in the other hangar.
Are we stealing their ship?
I feel like they said there are others. Okay, so here's my little theory. I don't think the Covenant's a very nice organization. And, because it's called the Covenant. And I think they know that...
Yeah, they were bad in Halo, don't you remember?
Well, I totally forgot about Halo. I think they... Like, all the Halo terminology has, like, slowly fled my brain over the past 10 years.
It's almost like it's become almost completely irrelevant or something.
But,
So, Merkava, do you get back up in your chair and try and search again?
Yes.
Perception check. Go on, Kazar.
What was the difficulty?
Easy.
I was just saying that, like, I feel like this is out of character. I just feel like the reason they specified, as soon as Cedric said, "That's your ship," and they said, "Yeah, but there's others," is they know Cedric's at least capable of murdering them and stealing their ship, or would consider doing it. Like, maybe not, but that seems... I'm
Merkava, you search through the
I look at the other two, since apparently Kasari and Cedric either are answering or they don't know. I look and say, "So what's the Covenant?" My friends are pretty silent.
So Merkava, I will respond to that question. Merkava, you find in the white robes, you find 1 vial of purple liquids.
Oh, score.
Are you doing anything with the terminals before I go back to the other group?
Yeah, I'll get into those.
It's going to be an average computer check. And it is personal security, so, you know, do what you do.
Okay.
So they turn to you and they say, one of the boffin sighs, and the human says, "It's an organization within the Jedi, and unfortunately, in order for us to operate for the good of the galaxy, we have to be a little secretive. And I know that's frustrating, but we can't really tell you much."
No.
I say, why are the Jedi allowed secret orders? The Republic allows the Jedi to run around with secret orders? It feels like the Inquisition all over again.
The Republic do not run the Jedi, friend. The Bothans.
No, but the Republic allows the Jedi to exist.
The human laughs.
If you think that the Jedi are somehow not, are somehow above the Republic, that seems incredibly undemocratic, really.
The Republic did a great job, says the Bothan, winning the Mandalorian Wars on their own, didn't they?
Oh, shit.
Oh,
You know, I feel as though if the Jedi... I feel as though if the Jedi honored their obligations to the Republic, that millions wouldn't have died during the Mandalorian Wars, yes. Maybe if the Republic had more control over the Jedi, it would have turned out better.
There's neither of them respond to. As we flash back to Merkava, you get into the terminal. You get into both of them, actually. One of them seems to be like an emergency terminal that is running, like the other one seems to be running on normal power, but the other one was hooked up to the mains power, which has obviously been shut off. But there is an emergency backup that it's running off of. But you can tell that this is a function terminal. And after one function, it will probably run out of emergency power. The other terminal is just normal. It has a bunch of just personal like logs for and discussions that aren't like notary, but you can tell from them that this is Insulin or Dito's terminal. And the function terminal has 3 functions. One of which will open the vault above. That's what it says. That's what you can work out from it. The next will fix the ventilation system in the lower city and restore power to all three zones. And the final one will pump Shulchok into all of the currently active ventilation zones.
That's not bad.
Well, from what we understand, Shulchok only kills the infected, right? So it would leave all the completely cured people alive, right?
Yeah, but like half the party is infected.
Yeah, obviously we're not going to do it with you here.
You guys, by the way, you've been able to tell there's no real ventilation systems in the upper city.
What?
Oh, so we just wouldn't be able to go back to the lower city.
It's reasonable.
I mean, I feel like it'd be risky, but you know.
Okay, so the first two functions. One was restore the ventilation staff.
Yep, restore the ventilation to all of the lower city zones.
And the other one was...
Open the vault.
Huh.
Wait.
Hmm.
Oh, the vault we never got into. God damn it.
No, it's the vault
it's a different vault.
upstairs.
Oh, the vault upstairs. Gotcha.
You can, by the way, tell from that advantage, Chris. This terminal's being used recently. Maybe earlier today.
Interesting. I'm really tempted to press all of the buttons.
Unlike you, they were able to open the door without breaking it permanently.
You know what? See, the thing is, I don't know if I'll have an opportunity to come back to this terminal. Yeah, I'll hit all the buttons.
Which one do you hit first?
I will open the ventilation shafts. Make them work.
No, that's all I need to know. The computer shuts off after you open the ventilation shaft.
Ah, I broke it.
Flashing. You eventually start catching up with the others. But do you guys say anything after that awkward moment between Celeste and the Jedi? I'll put it in quotes for now because you guys call them sure Jedi.
Wait, real quick question, Chris. Did you open the ventilation shaft? That's what you just did?
Yeah.
All those people will get infected if you haven't pumped Shulchok in.
Well, the computer shut off before I could do anything else.
Why would you start with that? Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, Chris. Never mind. We'll give you the conflict later.
I feel like I just got baited.
Not really, if you'd been paying any attention.
Yeah, like...
No, because, I mean, one is pump the stuff into the ventilation shaft. If it's all cold, it's just or closed off, it's not going to get pumped into anywhere.
Oh, you mean it's not going to get to the place where it doesn't need to go? The only place that it's not going to get to is the part where there are no infected. So, like, that's actually perfect. Ah!
Hey, decisions were made. We're moving back to the other group. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just staring down these Jedi, just ready for when I eventually take my chancellorship to go full blown, seize the means of production on the Jedi. Seize the means of Force users.
It's just like
man, the Jedi will be trained as soldiers for the Republic instead of weird monks.
I go look at the two Jedi and say,
you do your weird handshake.
Say, any more room on that ship? For 4 more?
Where we're going, you don't want to follow.
Holy fuck, that was the edgiest thing ever.
I feel you. I feel you, Kasari. These Jedi are pretty edgy.
M will be going elsewhere, though. If you'd like to follow him, I'll talk to him about it.
Well, we need a way off this planet, so...
As I said, there are other ships.
Well, they've now gone to Coruscant from the Jedi Temple.
Other ships in the hangar above, friend.
Okay, that's good. We should get Macabre.
Rakava catches up to you.
Yeah,
Oh,
no one
hey,
look at that.
Macabre!
You've
No
had
one-
an unusually long time without being kicked. Someone else do that. I'll be over here.
Oh my god.
Walk over to the elevator.
Which elevator?
The one right in front of us. This one.
That's where the Jedi are.
Oh, I hate them too. I say,
I'm gonna start walking up.
I awkwardly stand next to them as I try to enter the elevator.
They block your progress.
I say, excuse me, how are we supposed to get up if we can't enter that elevator?
Give us an hour or two.
I'm not waiting an hour during a small earthquake.
That's they laugh. That's not an earthquake. We'll be fine here.
Okay, it's still shaking a possibly not structurally sound object.
There is enough of the nitrosane field to keep the beast subdued for at least another day.
God damn it. Are these really Jedi? Can we just kill them or something?
Did you say that to us?
Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated with these guys.
I'm like, I think they're Jedi. Cedric said they're Jedi.
Yeah, they're Jedi.
Why are they blocking our path?
I gotta walk up and just say, is he up there?
The Bothan nods.
What the fuck?
I look at Kasari, and then I look at Cedric, and then I kind of like, I give like Kasari like a side of just like, what the fuck is he doing?
I reciprocate confusion. I'm just, I look super confused.
So, are we going to, ignore them and get off this planet as soon as possible, or are we actually going to listen to the pansies over here?
I'm gonna say to them, do you know what I need to do?
They both shake their heads.
First, we need to get off this planet.
That is
Then
actually the first step. Well done, Macabre.
No, then we're gonna go do a spacecation, like a real one.
Yeah, on the booth.
Real live jacuzzis.
Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, when you were looking through the non-emergency terminal Merkaba, you did find a password for what Zinzlin called his stash.
Now I now have power and domain over his mustache.
You know the password. You know the combination.
Mhm. I will make his mustache 3 feet long, and he will trip on it. It'll be perfect. That's how I'll defeat him.
Well, feel like we're gonna have to wait an hour.
Like, no, let's simulate this hour real time.
Does everyone does everyone seem okay with that? When Cedric says that's less, sorry, what are your reactions?
I say, well, I guess there's parts of this place we haven't explored yet.
I want to get off this planet. And I don't want to be waiting here for whatever's going on for an hour or two.
Hmm.
Guys,
I
two Jedi
look
end
up
up looking.
suddenly
Could
and say,
collapse in an hour or two.
The two Jedi look at each other and then look at Cedric and say, "We trust you can handle what's going on here." And they walk into the elevator themselves, and then they head up.
I say, so, actually, how tall is the ceiling?
20 feet.
I say, all right, so if we all get on top of each other, we could cut off the top of the roof and get onto the second floor, subverting the elevator.
You know, guys, I've been practicing some wheelchair tricks if you want to see them.
The elevator comes back down at this point, by the way, empty.
Hmm.
The Jedi had gone up on the elevator, it's come back down, it's empty.
There were a few rooms in the temple we hadn't explored yet, right?
yeah, let's double check all the rooms in the temple. Make
All
sure
right.
they're definitely.
You guys do that. I'll be watching the elevator to make sure it's okay and not harmed by anyone.
I'm gonna say Cedric, roll a discipline against Sless's deception.
What's your deception, Slash?
Wouldn't it be perception?
No, it's discipline.
Oh,
Yeah.
My deception is 1 yellow, 2 green.
Leadership, coercion, and deception are against discipline, at least according to. I'm pretty sure I took that out of the handbook when I started this campaign many weeks ago. You can tell that Sless is not telling you the truth.
Oh no. Someone's gonna get punched.
And this does make you angry.
Does it make you really angry?
Slash, go with Kasari. I'll watch the
No.
elevator. It's fine.
I'm going to watch the elevator. Didn't you hear me?
No, I think your skills
I feel
are better
as
suited
though
to
no,
opening
I
doors
am-
with your
I
snake
can see
game.
thermal things. I could see people come before.
This
Even
stresses me
arrive.
out.
Okay, you take one strain. Are you unconscious?
Yep.
Look, now you've knocked out Macarthur. Go
I
wheel
didn't
him
do
around.
anything. It was your fault. Look, I'm staying
Blair.
here. You can stay here with me. I don't care. But I'm watching this elevator and keeping a real close eye on my watch for the Jedi to have plenty of time to walk to wherever they need to before I totally do some things.
No, I like that I've developed a new power of just making myself pass out if I get too stressed. I'm like Coral. I die if I get stressed.
Sorry, what's your reaction to this argument?
Did you say Marshall?
He said Kasari.
Sorry. Well, it's still me. I say, well, I say, look, I mean, Celeste, if you just want to sit here and watch, I don't see the problem with that. But also, if you do want to go up in the elevator, you should probably wait until they're done. I don't know what they're doing up there. Also,
No, totally. I'm going to wait till they're done.
Also, who's him? I say to Cedric.
I look around a second and say, I'll explain everything later. Don't worry. I will.
Two-
Starts
two
bashing head
I'm-
into wall.
I'm gonna give you 2 conflicts for that one, Cedric.
Do it. Embrace the dark side.
So, I say, so yeah, as Kasari said, there's nothing wrong with me staying here and watching the elevator. So you go do your Jedi thing, Cedric. Off you go, and I kind of lightly nudge him in the direction of the Jedi Temple.
I just start leaning on a wall,
Oh.
watching Celeste.
Okay, well, I'm going to be on the other side, because you're kind of weird.
While this stalemate plays itself out, it seems like no one's punching each other in the face. Kasari's gonna go back to the temple.
By the way, Putty, after 10 minutes, I'm totally going to try to sneak on the elevator.
Oh my
Just to
God.
let you know.
We'll do that after one round of Gasari looks at shit.
Alright.
So, are you just gonna go through all three and see what you see?
Yeah, so first I'm gonna go into the office that we got into, and then Celeste ran up to me, because I never actually saw what was in there.
Okay. Did you hear me describe it though?
I remember you said there were 2 computer terminals, right?
Yeah, and Makava has been in both.
A mini fridge and a bunch of... I look at the
Hot plate.
I look at the mini fridge.
It's pretty empty. Seems like whoever was using it hasn't used it in a while.
Okay, yeah.
It's on though. It's powered, which kind of shocks you. I don't know.
Quickly check the computers.
One of them seems to not be working, but it seems to have been used recently, like very recently. And the other one is working, is open, unlocked, and has a bunch of just really personal chats from Zinzalin with his sisters about really mundane shit, as well as a password to what he calls his stash.
Okay, so this was Zinzalin's office. It seems like I memorized the password.
Okay.
And then
Esmeralda, by the way.
that's the password. If we encounter, I don't think we've. God, there's so many Esmeraldas and other things in my life that it's hard to even sort it out. I say, or I don't say anything. I'm by myself. You know what? I talk to myself. I say, "What an interesting room," and then I look at the computer on the left. It looks like it's been recently opened. What's going on with it? It's off.
It's off. It's unpowered.
I turn it on.
It doesn't turn on.
I look at the power cord situation. What's going on there?
It seems to be plugged in, and there's also like an emergency battery.
I check out the emergency battery.
It seems it's a little warm, so it seems to have been on very recently.
What could it be?
Is the battery dead?
Yeah, I mean it's not working.
Oh no. I say, well, I'm sure that this has never worked, and no one wasted an opportunity. Starts heading away.
Oh. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna say that took 10 minutes.
Oh,
You're just gonna try and stealth into the elevator?
by the way, I'm not heading back, Putty. There's more.
Yeah, I know. I can. Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to sneak in the elevator, ride it up, and then go and find me a ship to hijack and take it down to the hangar of the Jedi Temple.
It's gonna be Cedric's vigilance. It's gonna be.
Well, I'm not gonna do it all in one roll, obviously, but the elevator's the first step.
Cedric's vigilance, assisted by Merkava, against your stealth.
Merkava's unconscious, isn't he?
Oh, you're right. In that case, it's just gonna be Cedric's vigilance, and you're gonna make the roll. So that's against his vigilance.
Okay, I'll keep the previous argument of not flipping Destiny against other players.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I
I'll
get
agree.
2 boost die because of my stalker feat.
And it's 1 challenge and 2 difficulty.
Fuck.
So you notice as Sless very clearly starts to make a beeline for the elevator after 10 minutes, making
man.
an attempt to stealth.
I just walk up behind him and put my hand on his shoulder.
Oh, can I attempt to outrun him?
Yes.
All right,
It's cool.
I'm
So
Yeah,
what's this gonna be?
It's an opposed athletics check.
Okay,
Oh,
You're rolling,
Celeste,
okay.
you're already dead.
so that's 4 challenge and 2 difficulty. That's actually incredible, Slash.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Cedric, make an unarmed attack roll against Sless right now.
Breaks.
Also, Sless, you get 5 XP.
Okay.
That 5 XP.
I'll tell you that at the end, though.
5
So.
XP will be great to fix your broken clavicle with.
Is this just a normal attack? So
Yes.
is this against Slash's like armor and stuff?
It is indeed.
Slash, do you have any defense? Sorry?
1 melee defense.
I feel a disturbance in the sled.
How much damage does that do?
That does 10 wounds. 10
Okay.
damage, sorry.
I'm up still.
Good. Okay, awesome. So what happens then is, Cedric, you catch up with Slash just before he hits the elevator, and you realize you need to put him down if you're going to stop this rebellion. A big right uppercut to Slash. Massive, huge right uppercut that sends him flying back
Into the
elevator. The door closes. Slash begins going up.
Oh my god, that's so great!
I'm gonna look up. Can I like look up below the elevator?
Sure,
Like,
you see it slowly going up.
You hear the voice in your head. You can't take that. Cut open the door, climb up the elevator, drag him out, and kill him.
You could leap up there. You need to save him from himself.
By killing him.
Well,
While you make your decision, we're going to flash back to Kasari.
Okay.
What are you going to be just looking through the remaining 3 rooms?
Yeah.
Oh, just make a average perception check. It looks pretty much the same as the rooms on the other side.
Nothing to see here.
You don't think so. So you, I assume, begin heading back?
I head back to the lobby area. Was there 2 doors in the lobby area?
Yeah, and the one you just walked through is the other one than the one you entered in. You notice that it's a circle and it goes all the way around. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a loop. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna head back.
Okay, so before she does, Cedric, what are you doing?
I'm force jumping.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna find.
It's
Isn't the door closed?
no.
But
The door closed on the elevator, which is now gone, and there's an open area with it. You can get into the
Oh,
shaft.
that is horribly dangerous.
Yeah, but I know what he's talking about. It's a pretty common Star Wars thing. Star Wars is not known for its safety regulations.
Dude,
OSHA would have a heart attack.
It's 4 range bands.
Put up a yellow sign or something.
Please step back when the elevator is in use.
N for dark side points.
It is.
Like one of those like little yellow lines that just like tell you to not step past the line.
Yep.
So I need 1 to activate the power.
Unleash your anger, your hatred.
Then I need
I love how the thing that's
need 1 for each rage band. So there's 4. So that's 1 rage band jump. So I'd need. Yeah, I would just need the 4 dark side points to jump me up.
That's 7 conflict total. And you leap as Kasari, you get in just in time to see this like massive dark energy at Cedric's feet as he leaps up the elevator shaft.
I look, seeing no plus, jumped Cedric, and Merkaba passed out in his chair.
Merkava's still passed out.
At this point, Merkaba, you wake up from the noise.
Oh god.
You're 1 below your threshold.
Okay, I'm back to what I was before I passed out.
I'm like,
So Cedric,
what happened?
You reach the bottom of the elevator. What do you do?
I do
I'm
not
gonna
know.
grab one side of the elevator and try and grab the side of the shaft and just try hold it so the elevator stops going up.
This has become an Incredibles movie. I will let you.
Are we sponsored, buddy?
I will. Yeah, sponsored by me.
It's sponsored by Pixar.
You can flip Destiny to make a 5 difficulty athletics check, an impossible check.
I feel a disturbance in the force.
And I'm gonna use enhance.
Cedric is going to tear apart our only chance to actually get off the planet when he inevitably ends up accidentally destroying the elevator.
He's
with this.
Officially the Hulk. If this works. Like, can you imagine how fucking terrified you would be? You're in the elevator, and all of a sudden you feel something grip on, and just start ripping the bottom open.
Let Cedric make the roll.
Like, I would shit myself
Okay.
to death. No!
So, how much would I need to make sure the elevator's still sort of working?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Well, I'm gonna then pump 3 success and 3 advantage in with those dark side points.
Right, that's 9 total conflict from that one, and 7 from the previous one, remember? So you stop the elevator in its tracks, nice and slow, and then you break it a little bit, but not like just so much that you could get in. But otherwise, it's fine.
Okay.
At what point am I in the elevator shaft? Do I know? Wait,
You're not
let's
in
go.
You're fine. There's a little hole. You notice a little hole opening, and a head popping through, and he says, "Here's Cedric."
I pull out my gun and I point it at Cedric, and I say,
Cedric, you see him pointing the gun at you.
I say, buddy, if you don't get off the elevator right now, so I'm going to have to shoot you just to save everyone else. Well,
Man, we are full of wrong answers
maybe
today.
I won't shoot you, but I'll definitely hit you with the bottom of my gun. The butt of my gun.
Just starts poking him in the face.
It's
Well,
like whack-a-mole.
It might have been nice for us all to go up together, just in case you get killed.
I hit him with the butt of the gun.
Oh my god!
They just make an armed check, an armed attack.
Okay.
I have 2 melee defense.
So an unarmed attack? Like, so melee, you mean, or brawl?
I'm gonna see.
It's
I'm gonna see one of these 2 fall down the elevator, aren't I?
Did you hear me, Putty? I said you said unarmed attack, so melee?
Brawl. Use brawl. It's a melee attack roll, but just use brawl, because... Yeah.
Okay. I believe that Trandoshans have a natural brawl ability. Let me check. Yeah, so I'll deal an extra +1 damage with this. I forgot, how do you calculate brawl damage?
It's your brawn plus your number of successes.
Okay. And what's the range?
It's melee, so 2 difficulty, and he has 2 melee defense, so 2 difficulty, 2 setback.
and 2 setback from your sickness.
Down with sickness.
That is pretty much the only reason why you've been like, or one of the reasons why you've been failing.
Oh man.
Cedric just takes it straight on the chin and looks at you like you have to do better than that.
Okay, I hit him again.
I'm gonna
This
try
is
to pull myself up into the elevator.
Cedric, bite the gun.
Cedric, you successfully pull yourself back into the elevator before he can take another attack.
He just calmly walks while like Slash is beating him and pushes the down button, and sort of the elevator starts going back down.
I'm pretty much
That's not how elevators work, though.
down
He's
button.
right. There is no down button. Well, there is, but you click it and nothing happens.
Yeah, it would wait until it finished its trip.
He's right. There is no down button. Well, there is, but you click it and nothing happens. Yeah, it would wait until it finished its trip.
Yeah, it would wait until it finished its trip. Yeah, it would wait until it finished its trip.
However, you do
So-
start
But
to
Cedric
feel
said
a
nay.
You start to feel a little click, as if the elevator is about to begin its journey again.
That's fine.
Alright, it starts going up.
I kind of awkwardly stare at him and I say, you know I'm going to bolt and I'm going to get a ship. I don't know what they're doing, I don't care, and I'm not going to talk about...
I'm gonna grab his shoulder and say, no.
I put my claws up against him and I say, if
I'm
you...
using Terrify.
You can use Terrify against...
Ooh,
Yikers, dude. So wait a minute.
Dude,
I need to know the mechanics
Marshall.
of this.
do you mind if
So-
I steal some of your popcorn?
I don't have any.
Then
So
where
I
did I
make-
get this?
A coercion check. I take 4 conflict for this, by the way.
Guess who's not recovering anything today?
Oh no, like, I could be 0 by the end of today.
I think you're
Could be.
What? You know that all your conflict is doubled, right?
Yeah, and I
Oh,
think you're already...
It's not all his.
Oh no,
conflict.
yeah, I'm
It's-
0 by the end of today.
That's not how the. It's not all of his conflict.
Yeah, but I
No.
think it's over 10. Like, it's bad.
Yeah, you're definitely over 10.
I'm pretty... I think he's at
okay.
11, I want to say. Maybe,
So just
maybe
Make the hard check with your force rating. Are we going to take 3? Wait, how do you take the 4 conflict? Is that from the
The actual technique takes 1.
Okay, that's 4 total. I just wondering if I need to add an extra 3 on. Okay, go ahead.
Because I've got improved, it's only 2 difficulty.
Wait, you didn't even ask me what... Does it matter anything
No,
about my stats?
It doesn't.
Okay, that makes sense. Totally.
So he is. So he's you're disorientated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use one of those points to make you immobilized.
So it's 5 conflict total.
Yep.
And yeah, you're immobilized and disoriented.
Okay, well, I guess I'm not doing anything.
Alright then. Well, you guys reach the top of the elevator.
I hit the down button.
Now,
Wait a minute. Go on, Kasari. Wait a minute, Cedric. You can talk, Kasari.
now, Pudrick,
Mhm.
I'm guessing I felt throughout all those force powers, I felt like a fucking explosion of darkness up the elevator shaft.
Yes, indeed you did. And it's hard to tell because there's another explosion of darkness even further up. But you can tell that something's going on in the elevator shaft.
Okay, I ready myself for some arcane horror to emerge. I
Actually, what can I do while I'm
I
immobilized?
ready my lightsaber.
I will go through the scenario that's happening at the top of the elevator while you read that out. Well, while you read that for yourself, Cedric. Sless. So,
While I read the immobilized effect.
yeah, I mean,
Where do I
it's the-
find that?
it's in the core rulebook.
I'm sorry to say this, but you might want to tell me because I don't have access to core rulebook at the moment.
I'll send you a link.
Immobilize.
Actually, it's-
Yeah.
You cannot perform maneuvers.
Oh,
That's all it does.
So as the both of you fall off, you both feel a draining.
So what you're saying is I can still punch you.
You
Yes, you can still punch me if you want.
What does
Yeah, I'm
disor-
definitely punching.
disoriented say though? Isn't disoriented maneuver?
No,
Yeah.
disoriented gives him a
Setback.
setback to all checks.
Well, the elevator is large enough for you to get to short range.
Yeah, I would have taken a step back. So you could shoot me.
Okay, then I'm shooting you, I guess. I don't know. I'm
All right. Well, you can do that when you
probably,
get to the
I
top
imagine
because you're
Les is
already
very
at the top.
confused, frustrated, and angry with whatever situation is going on.
Well, you can do that when you get to the top because you're already at the top. So I'm going to say what.
Okay.
So you feel a draining presence, both of you, but you specifically, Cedric, in the Force, as you get to the top of the elevator. You begin to hear incomprehensible murmurings in your mind as you get to the top. So it feels very similar to what you experienced in the inner city when the communion was beginning to start.
Wait, I know what this music is.
The doors open up into a large metal circular room with two garage-style doors to the left and to the right. Ahead of you is a large metal vault door closing as a figure walks out of the room behind, and sirens echo throughout the room. Between you and the figure is a pool of darkness in the middle of the room. Cedric, you struggle to look at the pool. It seems to be sucking in all of the energy around it, and it is mesmerizing to actually look at it. The cloud that had been surrounding the tower is flowing into the pool as it glows larger and larger. But at the center of the darkness, you can spot a small figure kneeling. And if you cast your mind onto it, all you can see is an endless void in the Force, draining everything around it. You find it hard to move in its presence. Even you, Celeste, find it difficult to think or move as you find yourself suppressed by whatever this Jedi voodoo is. Merkava downstairs, you begin to feel a familiarness upstairs, calling for you to join it. But whatever is happening upstairs...
You're a cripple, so...
Cedric,
start rolling towards the elevator.
But after a little while, Merkava, you feel a break in the chain of the Force between whatever that speck of light was and yourself, and you begin to feel loss and longing. You gain 3 conflict. The pool, for the guys upstairs, begins to recede towards the figure, and you all begin to feel a sense of emptiness left in the wake of where the darkness once was.
I am just jabbing that down button as quickly as possible.
You can't move.
Oh.
You feel yourself heavy.
I pulled the same shit on you that you did.
The pool you see a kneeling figure in the center as the darkness begins to flow into it, and that figure is flanked by the other figure that had emerged from the vault. Suddenly, the two of you are flung into the room and towards the left side near the garage door. Cedric, your Force rating temporarily drops to 0, and the powers you had exerted on Celeste are gone, but Celeste, you feel yourself immobilized by something else now and flung towards the side of the room.
All right.
You notice as the dark figure that had been at the center of the room walks towards the right garage door. It opens and it closes, and the other figure, the one that wasn't in the middle of the pool, begins to walk towards the two of you as you start to regain your mobility.
I say... I don't know what's going on with all this Jedi voodoo stuff, but if you could point to the nearest ship so we could get off this planet, I'd appreciate it.
Of course, the figure says. You have done a lot of good for me today. I'd like to thank you. When I first met you in that bar outside the city, I wasn't sure you'd be as useful as you have been. That door behind you, there are many ships in that hangar.
Wait, who the fuck is this guy?
The guy we met at the bar.
Oh my god, this guy is... Okay.
Cedric, you know now what you must do.
Okay.
I look and I say, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go and start up that ship. You two.
By the way, Putty, just in case this comes up, because I have a feeling it might... because I'm pretty sure the Voldemort is here. I need while this is happening, because I'm guessing I'm feeling some really fucked up shit pouring down the elevator right now. I am I'm assuming that is that true? Like, am I feeling some resemblance of...
From where you are, you're only feeling the darkness. You don't necessarily feel the emptiness that the ones upstairs did.
But it feels like a lot. Like,
oh fuck yeah, the biggest concentration of dark side Force energy you've ever felt.
I don't like it. So I'm gonna perform the one with the universe action. So I can once per session meditate and perform the one with the universe action, make average astrogation check. If successful, add light side force point to all force point power checks in next encounter. If successful with threat, add dark side point instead. So,
I like that a lot.
yeah.
Okay, so make the check.
Okay.
Would you, what is the check again?
It's an average astrogation check.
Make that one challenge and one difficulty, because I'm going to flip this.
Yeah, I'm sure the pure evil upstairs is interfering with it. I'm having trouble being one with the universe.
By the way, while you're doing this, the elevator is back downstairs. Oh, nice. Okay, so
one light side in the next encounter.
Are you and Merkava going to get on the elevator, by the way?
I'm also going to strip myself of all extra extremities and hand them to Merkava, and I say, Merkava, I'm going to keep you safe.
So you've just got your robes on now, you don't have the hazmat suit anymore?
Yeah, because it's too fucking heavy and I won't be able to fight properly in it. But I kind of actually, what I will do though is I make a makeshift bandana and wrap it around my face, because now I know this shit is contagious. So
okay, that's cool.
I'm breathing through pretty heavy cloth right now.
And you're both getting on the elevator.
We are? Are we, Merkava?
I'm asking.
Fuck it, let's do it. Actually, I'm not sure if I should bring you up there. You seem like a liability. No offense, bud.
I'm sure you'll do fine. He is a Jedi after all. You can still use the Force.
And Merkava, even though he hasn't pulled it out in a while, is a practitioner of the Force, the ranged lightsaber techniques.
Oh my god, he can fight a lightsaber duel without actually wielding a lightsaber. Oh, that's
yes, he actually can.
Actually,
in his younger days, he was great at it.
But that's a great nerf came.
So are you guys getting in the elevator?
I say, I don't know. A part of me thinks that going up there is a terrible idea, but a part of me thinks that this is what Jedi do. If I don't face such darkness, I'm a coward, and I don't deserve to call myself a beacon of light.
All right. Let's do it. Jesus Christ.
You both go in the elevator. It's less of you already gone into the hangar.
Role-playing.
Oh yeah, no, I've gone into the hangar. I'm getting ready to pull up the ship and go downstairs because I don't know if they've come up yet. So
Cedric, you though see the figure that you were just talking to walk towards the center of the room, bend down and pick something up. And then put it in his pocket, and then keep walking. Although there seem to be a few things there.
Could I, see what it was that he picked up?
What happened to the two Jedi?
Daunting perception check. As you two arrive on the elevator and notice this figure walking towards the exit.
I'll cough for a second, Marshall, and I think they weren't Jedi.
Cedric, you can't tell what it is.
So what do I see?
You see Cedric kind of cowering in the right-hand corner next to what seems to be a garage door. And the figure that you recognize as the man you were talking to by the saloon in the outer city, walking towards another garage door. You see a big vault door in the center that is closed. And probably in the middle of the room, you see a little divot with a few sparkly things and one device that you can't really make out.
I say, what happened here, Cedric? Feels like pure evil.
Cedric doesn't respond.
Sless?
Sless is in a garage.
Sless is gone.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck. Sless just booked it.
Listen, I'm going to say you're gone, so let me just give you the ship you found, and then you're off.
Oh, man. I already started it up and everything.
I mean, pretty much at this point. Like, by the time they're not going to catch you.
You're meeting us in the hangar, right? Or are you just leaving?
Well, I was going to meet you guys in the Jedi Temple hangar because I thought you guys were. I think you guys are still down there.
So
I might wait for Cedric, even though I'm conflicted
about
whether or not I would wait for Cedric because of the things that he did to me in that elevator.
Show me where he touched you. So do the three of you in the main room just leave the figure go through the garage door, as you say?
Is the figure what I feel the darkness from?
You feel some darkness from the figure, but certainly not at the level that you thought was up here.
You! What happened here? I call out in my most authoritative voice possible for a 15-year-old girl.
The figure stops and turns and says, "The galaxy was saved." And then turns back and keeps walking.
That's really vague.
He sighs and then stops again and says, "Today we have created a terrible but great weapon. There's a war coming. I suggest all of you get ready for it. It will not take as long as the last one to end. I will be sure of it. I will step out of the shadow that was cast on me and make sure that I do the right thing earlier this time." And he walks through the door.
Oh, okay, bye.
Well, he begins to walk through the door. You could probably still stop him if you were quick enough.
I thought you
probably get to casually wheel over at top speeds.
You know, I'm cruising along at a brisk 1.5 miles per hour.
I sort of so the darkest presence is gone.
Not in this room.
Where do I feel it?
You feel it in the garage that he's walking into.
I think these guys are Sith Lords. Definitely not nice people. I look at Cedric, he looks fucking crippled. I look at Merkava, he's actually crippled.
I am like, this is probably the first time you've seen Cedric.
I'm surprised
genuinely
Kastari's not wondering where Sless is.
I am wondering where Sless is. Literally, that was one of my. I was like, "Where's Sless?" And then probably he's in the garage. He's gone, and I'm like, "Ah, fuck," because I.
Oh, I thought that was an out of character answer. Someone actually answered you.
No, I just like in character. I'm just
okay.
In my head. I was thinking, "Where's Sless?" Like because I'm not saying out loud. Oh,
okay.
Like all the things that just happened were all in my head.
By the way, Merkava, you feel in the force someone calling out to you.
Ring, ring.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hello?
Okay. So while Kasari tries to wring something out of Cedric, Merkava, would you join me in the private conversation? Actually, wait a minute. No, Cedric, you get the same feeling. Do you also close your eyes and focus on it?
Yes.
I start going towards the man. I want to see what the fuck is in this next room.
Okay. In that case, we'll get back to that, but Cedric and Merkava need to join me in the private conversation.
Oh, man. Wait, Putty, before you go. Will I have enough time to get, like, a drink or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, well, I'm going to go get a drink, too.
That's cool. Excellent.
Alright, I'm back.
Is everyone back? Or are you guys still getting drinks?
I'm back. I don't know what Marshall's doing.
I'm gonna leave. I thought I was gonna leave Cedric and Merkava to some morning.
Oh,
what happened?
fuck you, Puddy.
Did I get back?
Fuck you,
Literally,
Puddy.
you came back.
Fuck you, Puddy.
Yeah,
Just
man.
in time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Putty
yeah, yeah.
asked, "Is everyone back?" And then I said, "I don't know where Marshall is," but he was about ready to, I think, go into the other channel. But then he came back.
Oh, God.
I'm a good kid. I'm a good kid.
Okay, so Marshall, you race to the other garage door, I assume, yeah?
Yeah.
And you see as a dark figure that clearly the source of much of the darkness, and you see it erodes this sense of emptiness around it, like it is sucking in the energy. Your force rating temporarily drops to 0 as you enter the room. And he's walking up the landing strip to a ship, and the figure you were just talking to stands between you and the ship.
I reach out and say, "You cannot." And as I try to do something, I realize I can't
know
do
what you mean, yeah.
anything. What?
I think I know what you're implying there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I try it again, and I'm like, "Fuck! What's happening?"
The figure turns around to you and lights a blue lightsaber and says, "Trust me, we're on the same side."
Yeah, we're just playing around with the darkness a little bit. Don't mind us. You know, it's like the Cedric Merkava situation. They're just dipping into it and controlling it.
Yep.
Totally controlling it.
It's like his black mask off, and underneath is this like old
and it's Shao, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
this old human face that seems like you can tell from a few like cuts and snips that there's been some like he's had his face done a couple times surgically. You can, especially around the jaw, a lot of surgery has been done around the jaw, and you notice some faded blue towards the top of his black hair on his skin, like a blue tattoo. And he says, the The next steps are hard, but we will win this war once and for all this time. And he begins walking towards the ship.
Kasari continues to try to use her main thing, and she's like, fucking, and I think she starts to sort of have like a minor panic attack because I don't like. She's been stripped of the Force. This is the first time she hasn't been able to use the Force in, since she was a child. So she feels vulnerable and afraid.
I think that panic probably escalates as the landing part of the ship kind of goes in, and she's just sitting there helpless as the ship takes off, flies away.
I head back to the other room.
You can see, do you investigate the stuff in the middle of the room, by the way, as your two compatriots in the corner are clearly affected by something right now?
Sure.
Okay, you notice what looks to you to be like a drained lightsaber crystal and a communications device that's letting off an SOS signal.
I grab the lightsaber crystal and put it in my collection.
When you pick it up, you feel... and by the way, your Force rating's back as you enter the room, and so is yours, Cedric. You feel an enormous amount of emptiness from it. You feel like it's draining bits of your Force energy as you even hold it.
Oh. I drop it. I don't like that.
Cool.
What's the other thing? You said
I put it in my collection anyway.
Communications device that is letting out an SOS signal.
I look at it. Can I figure out how long it's been doing this?
It seems to be a couple of weeks, maybe just over a month, and you can definitely figure out from a few poking around is that it belongs to one Charlotte Brackaku.
Oh my god!
You find a group chat on it that includes your current traveling companions and someone called Ita Damari.
I said she was here. She was right here and I missed her. And I sort of like slam my fist on the wall.
Are you angry?
What?
Are you angry?
More disappointed.
Oh.
I mean, there's nothing to be angry about. I'm sad, and I think I would call it frustrated, like that feeling of helplessness, like you're just raging against nothing. I look at the other two and I'm like, what happened to you two? Are they responsive, or are they just like having strokes?
Like
They look really downtrodden. Like, I don't know if there's tears, but there might be.
Cedric's in tears.
I pass out.
I say, look, I don't know what happened to you two. I don't know what happened just now. Whatever that creature was. I don't think there's anything else like it in the world. Universe. Where space.
Space.
I had to like remember what boundaries we're dealing with here. I say, look, I think you two need to recover from whatever just happened, and you can tell me more later, like you always say, Cedric. But first we need to find Sless. I don't know where the hell he went.
This was a movie we would jump cut to Sless, Jesse Pinkman style, banging on the steering wheel like, I'm free! I'm free! as he like smashes through the boundaries of the city.
Oh, God.
Is that actually what's happening?
I mean, if Sless is willing, I really want that to be
Oh, if you really want to, sure. I'll think that Slez is like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I'm like, let's spend months looking for him here.
I like to imagine he gets probably like halfway out of the city limits, and then he stops and thinks and remembers Kasari, the only person out of the three who he gets along with. And then he begins to kind of like turn back. And he's going to go to back and to the Jedi hangar if he can, the Jedi Temple hangar, and see if he can find Kasari there.
Okay, cool. So what are you three actually doing?
Well, we're definitely going down, and while they're recovering, is there anything else here I haven't seen?
Well, there's the vault door.
Oh yeah, I look in there.
The vault door seems like really well locked. It's sturdy. It's big. It's a big fuck off door. There's a little terminal control next to it, but it doesn't seem to control the vault door. Just be like a access point.
I wonder if the password will work. But
the
there's no mustache here. Damn.
Cedric is completely unresponsive, just curled up in a corner.
It seems like if you could bypass the security, you would have access to the general network that Merkava's been working on.
Oh, no, that sounds like nerdy Merkava stuff.
I'm just drooling.
You wake up with a Merkava with one under your string.
I sort of start directing these two geriatrics into the elevator.
Okay. And you guys head back down. Are you going anywhere specific?
Well, did Celeste give us any indication that he would... Did you give us any indication you would meet us at the Jedi Temple?
No, that's where I think you guys were. I think you guys are on the bottom floor still. So there's no communication between us.
Well, now we are on the bottom floor. Although you still have a communicator.
Oh yeah, I could.
You're on the second floor.
What?
You're on the second floor.
Well, we're on the floor that the Jedi Temple is on, which is, I assume, is what he meant.
Yeah.
Then
when I get out, you know, I go and I search for you guys.
You all meet up in the room with the elevator.
Oh, I say, I look and I try not to pay attention to Cedric, and I walk over and say, I have a ship. It's at the hangar in the Jedi Temple. Let's get off this rock. I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of done with this planet.
I say, wait. What about the ventilation system? The people on this planet are going to die if we don't do anything.
And this matters?
Thousands of people dying?
Thousands of people who could potentially die, but at the same time chose this fate?
How did they... What?
Well, they wanted to stay here.
They chose to be diseased?
I don't think they chose to be diseased, but they chose to stay on their home.
Look, I'm fairly certain that even if they all wanted to leave, they couldn't. Like, am I right about that, Putty? Could they all leave? Are there enough ships for that?
So you haven't seen all of the ships, but you did see the hangar that the dark entity just left via. And if there are as many ships in the other hangar on the top floor as there were in that one, they probably could have. But that would have involved, you know, getting past whatever the fuck that thing was, because it was clearly in the central room for a little while there.
So what you're saying is, there's still enough.
Yeah, you'd estimate.
I put my hazmat suit on and I say, look, I'm going to go down and contact the colony. I'm letting them know that they can get off this planet. Even if they choose to die here, they should at least know that they can escape.
Fine then, but
can't we? Is there any way we
let's
could
use
just
the
message
ship
them?
then, because it'll be faster. I say, come on, let's go. We'll go down and tell them that they're... And I take them to the entranceway of the under...
Before you guys leave this particular floor, I'd just like to put it out there that, like, if you guys are still searching for purple vials, And also, if you were looking for a thing called the stash, this would probably be the best for to get them.
Wait, what would you say? Sorry.
Before you leave the site, I just want to put out there that if you guys were looking for more purple vials or looking for something called the stash, then this would.
What was there left on this floor that we haven't seen?
Nothing, but there are things that you didn't search very well. Well, one thing in particular that you didn't search very well.
Well, that's a good point.
Someone was like heat signatures.
Sorry, one thing we didn't search very well. What?
There's one thing you didn't search very well because someone was like heat signatures.
Oh, the research lab. He's talking about the research lab.
I mean, that is a problem. If we don't have enough vials, you guys will all die.
How many vials do we need?
Well, we found another, which means we need 5 more.
Are you shitting me?
By my
no, you need 7, don't you? You need 7 total, because Celeste needs 5 more, and those 2 need 1 each.
Now that I think about it, can't we just take the vial that we have right now, take it to Naboo?
Yeah, but Celeste needs 5, they need 2 each, but we found 1, and so we only need 6 right now.
That's maths right there.
Wait, let me stop for a second. Wait.
That's right.
Did you?
Yeah, you were right.
Guys not hear my suggestion that we could just take that vial to Naboo and then have them recreate it there? We don't have to search.
So they would need. Okay, so originally we would have needed 9, 7 plus 2. Celeste has drinking 2 of the bottles, so that's 7. We have 1, that's 6. We need 6. Okay.
Need 6 more. Need 6 more. Not
okay,
just
yeah.
All right, let's go search the research lab real quick. Let's thoroughly search that research lab.
Someone make an average perception check with
to the ground.
With as many assists as you like.
Wait, why are you making? What's your perception?
4 with 1 skill.
I have 3 ranks. Why don't I assist?
Okay, so what does that do exactly?
We all assist. I assist.
Cedric.
I have.
Do I get your yellows?
You get 3 yellow, 1 green, 2 boost.
Well, actually, Cedric said he's not assisting.
Oh, 1 boost.
One
and
boost.
2 setback from the sickness.
Purple, setback. Boom.
Excellent. So you look around,
pass out.
Find a number of interesting research No, you don't take strain. You find a number of interesting research projects that you would totally investigate if you weren't in a panic. I don't know, some nuclear weapons projects, some amazing cancer-curing vials, but you're like, I don't need those. So you move past them all, and you find just what seems to be behind in a locked trunk, something, but it's an electronic lock with a password on it.
Oh, is it the stash? I put in the password.
Esmeralda, and the electronic lock opens. You open it, and there are 8 vials of purple liquids.
I begin to. I'm like, all right, we're good.
Them all. Oh, okay.
No, we're good.
Chugs them all.
For a second, I literally thought you were just gonna impulsively start drinking them, and I was like, oh my god.
No, but Cedric and Merkava should drink theirs right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Cedric is completely unresponsive. Still crying.
I'm gonna pour it down Cedric's mouth. Come here, buddy. It's
you
okay.
already took yours today, so you taking another, I think, would be meaningless. So
yeah, potentially. I say put the just let's keep this stash real secret and safe, and let's go.
Okay, if we are making our final rounds. I think we should also go to the library. I'm going to collect those ancient books that totally aren't Sith artifacts, because Xari's really interested in them and thinks they should be preserved.
Yeah, that's easy to do. We can
no
do
one
that.
told her that they might be evil, so she will collect them all.
You get them, you put them on the ship, it's all Gucci.
Yay!
Now we go and alert the natives that they're going to die if they stay here.
Is this ship cool? Can we all see its stats?
Show you all. I only have it.
Does it have a map? Does it have at least like a list of all the cool rooms?
No.
I'm disappointed.
We're playing Coder. That's like half the game.
Wait, what kind of shit? There you go. All players. There you go. You all have it now. It's under loot.
Is it under handouts?
No, it's under loot, I just said. Gosh, why won't you listen?
It's under loot, you goddamn fool.
Wait a minute. So which entrance are you going to? This is it the
all
outer
I
city?
see is the name.
Look at the character sheet.
Yeah.
Look at the character sheet.
Yeah, all you see is the name.
Yeah, all you
Oh,
see is
yeah.
the name.
Be able to edit it. Jesus, there you go. All edited.
There we go.
Right.
Now
Which
the ship
entrance-
has a lot of character.
Which entrance to the lower city are you going to? Are you going to the
Who the
outer
hell
city or the inner
Damage
city?
the hull.
We're going to the entrance into the secret hidey hole place with all the racist
He was
thugs.
asking if you want to come at it from the out or the inside. 'Cause we
The
get in
inside, I
too much.
guess. I don't know. Is
Wait.
there a difference? What's the difference?
Well,
One you go through the maintenance corridors, the other one you go directly to the colony.
let's go directly. Let's go directly.
Yeah, let's go directly.
Take an elevator. So, yeah.
Oh god, we do have a bad track record with those. Pretty much always something crazy happens. Someone loses a leg.
No,
people fight.
Wait,
I hate
why
elevators.
don't we just fly there? Why can't we fly
'Cause
there?
it's an underground subterranean society.
No, I meant like, why can't we fly to the door?
I think
You got-
I think we can, but we need the elevator once we're there. Because it's a
The elevator is to the lower city.
like it's a subterranean society.
Wasn't it just like a big door that we had to walk through in order to...
No, it's an elevator.
There's an elevator.
Oh, it was an elevator? Okay, well,
No,
I
this
don't...
whole-
It was more of a shuttle
This
elevator.
whole city
You know, it was
functions on elevators, man.
like a
It's very
black
nice for the
pod.
handicapped.
Anyway,
Although
so
really
is
bad.
everyone going down there? Or is it just
Cedric's
us?
not. Cedric is.
I'll go
staying
down
in
there
the
too, just in case the racist Doug don't listen to the human.
And then Mukava, what are you doing?
I'm staying on the ship.
So the two of you head down and you walk, and it seems awfully quiet as you head into the buildings.
Oh god.
I shout at the top of my lungs, hey, you guys aren't gonna be able to breathe soon, so the entrance to the upper city is clear.
Click, 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 click. As on the top of the buildings, a bunch of snipers point their guns at you, and then a gun says, "Stop! Stop! They're not! What are you guys doing here?" Winston Gand
I say,
down the ladder.
there's the ventilation shafts are going to
Fixed.
not...
Yeah, I know. Half my men are infected.
Okay,
Wait,
well,
what?
the entrance into the elevator to the upper city is clear.
Start
You guys
vomiting
can
blood.
get
This is too much.
you guys can get a ship off the planet. Here's the key. We're leaving. There's nothing there, literally. You just keep on riding elevators until you get to the top floor. You'll see
I've
two
been to
gi-
the upper city before. Thank you. for the
Oh,
key.
okay. Yes, good. Just wanted to let you know so you guys didn't, die down here.
I to be fair, I wanted to let you know he was gonna kill you. No.
The least I'm going to do is give my men a good death. And then after that, I will talk with who is left, and we'll see what we will do. But thank you for the information, and thank you for the key.
I say sorry. When was the ventilation shafts open?
It must have been last night, I guess, because we woke up and had a mess to deal with.
That's so strange. Whoever did that was reckless, stupid, and careless.
And has sentenced half of my remaining men to sheer and a horrible death. Merkava, take 8 conflict.
What?
Yes!
Alright, well, I'm zeroed out again.
Like,
Oh, don't worry. There's gonna be 2 of us, mate.
I say, look, I'm not good with stuff like this. This is just a really shitty situation.
He shakes his head and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "We've been living in hell for 2 years. We died when the city collapsed. Everything we've had afterwards is just a bonus. all of my men here think the same way. Don't feel sorry for us. Just, believe in us.
Well, either way, I hope your men do well enough to survive and can get off this planet. It's the least that you guys deserve.
If you do get off, I believe we're headed to Naboo to rest for a while. If you want to meet us there, well, you don't have to, obviously, but if you do, you'll have a friendly face there. It was nice meeting you.
He nods and shakes your hand and says, Naboo, I haven't been. I'm sure it's nice this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, even though years are a weird concept speaking galactically. Anyway. Good day, sir. Tips hat. Leaves.
I'm pretty sure there's a galactic years.
No,
Or
there
galactics.
is, but it's weird to say this time of year because all the climates would be all fucking different.
Oh.
You know? Like saying oh, it's nice this time of year. I don't know. It's pretty much a shot in the dark as to whether it's winter, summer, spring, or something else. Anyway.
So you guys head back up to the ship. You begin flying off the planet. None of the city defense systems target you or give you any trouble. And you get out to the atmosphere where you begin to mentally prepare yourself for a run through an asteroid field. And that's where we're going to leave it this week.
Oh, yay.
Although what I will say actually before we end the episode today is that you do notice on the monitors that there's another ship just behind you. What is that ship? We'll find out next time on Dunes of Utapau.
Oh my god.
Space battle.
I hate you, Puddy.
Space
I
battle.
fucking hate you.
Oh, the good news is I can't take any more conflict for the ventilation thing because I already took it. Woo!
What did I? Okay,
All right.
That's not really good news, is it?
No, it means it can't come back to bite me later.
I mean, I think you'll still be haunted for the rest of your life by all the menus.
Yeah, okay. Zero morality again.
Are we off the air, Marshall, or someone?
Oh,
after us?
sorry. Yeah, I forgot we were recording.
I am happy to hear that.
We're still on the air.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the post-session podcast.
I'll do the outro. Thank you so much for watching today, boys and girls. Hopefully you enjoyed.
Wanna die?
Hopefully you enjoyed as much as we did. We'll all see you guys next week when we see the crazy adventures of Cedric / Kasari and Merkava pick up again as we head to Naboo and Kasari sleeps for 1,000 years under medical supervision. And that will be next week. See you then.